you in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It's a great day to be alive here on Kyle Brust and Nortman on this beautiful cold Tuesday. Stro, why are you shaking your head? Did I not do it right?
It's a great day to be alive on this Tuesday.
Oh, it's a great day to be alive on this Tuesday on Kyle Brust and Nortman. No, Ben Brust. I am Kyle Wallace. With me is Bradley Nortman, longtime NFL punter, Wisconsin punting legend. What up, Brad?
What's up, Kyle? It is a great day to be alive on this Tuesday. This is my fourth winter here in Wisconsin. Since being an adult? Being in the South for 10 years. The first 3 winters, I was like, you know what? This ain't so bad. Shoveling snow, no big deal. It's kind of nice. It's kind of majestic. This is the first winter I'm like, he's got to hurry up and get over with.
Yeah.
I need a little sunshine. I need a little warmth. It's too cold out there.
I actually prefer negative 15 than snow. I'd rather have it be cold.
It's all bad.
Well, it's all bad, but like snow, it causes the roads to be bad. I know you have black ice when it gets super cold, but I have something called a furnace. I have something called heating my car. I ain't batting an eye. Now, my car was like, voo, 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 voo,
oh,
voo,
no.
Voo. Oh, yes.
That Ford Taurus?
No, Ford Focus, baby.
Focus.
I didn't have money for no Taurus.
Man, I tell you what, it's holding on for dear life.
Yeah.
How many winters can that thing survive?
Well, it's been surviving since 2012.
We're gonna find out.
What's the math on that? This is the full winter 14.
Wow.
It's oldest Madison Hayes 24.
Wow.
And Instagram.
Incredible.
Shout out to Alex Stro holding it down behind the glass there, already with an attitude.
What did I do?
When I said something because I missed a word, you just...
There must be something about that chair.
That he gets upset with.
No. You.
No.
No, you're the problem.
No. When I...
Shots at Stro.
No.
That's Ben's job.
No, because
Brad,
you helped me through. It's a great day to be alive here on this Tuesday.
Yes.
You helped me through it.
Yes.
And you helped. Stro sat there and just made a stink face like, hey,
you've been doing the show for 2.5 years. How do you not know the opening line?
Brad, now do you feel that energy?
Yeah.
Do you feel that's
coming at you, Kyle.
Hey, thank you. That's accusatory energy, and I felt that through the glasses. So it's not me, it's him. I was happy to start today. He's the one with the attitude, but 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line where less is more. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. You can always watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Make sure you give us a subscribe and a like as well. Now, today, even though Strofe got on my nerves within the first 30 seconds of the show, Strofe, if I throw you the ball, will you catch it?
I'm going to run with it, Coach.
You're going to run with it?
Catch it first, then run.
Well, I'm going to catch it, then run with it, Coach.
Well, Strofe, you said, I want the ball.
Yeah,
So, Strofe, what is it that is grinding your gears today that you want to start off the show?
I might be projecting my irritation on you a little bit, okay? I will give you that right out the gate.
Okay.
So I apologize if I'm coming off as a little brash or angry or irritated.
I'll take the extreme accountability.
Because I'm sick of whatever we're doing in Green Bay. I'm irritated today. The Jonathan Gannon thing is fine. It's a fresh perspective. It's a failed head coach. It's a hire I am okay with and am for, and I'm ready and excited to see how that plays out. But we've been asking for 2.5 weeks for an update on Rich Bisaccia. And the update we get is, well, it sounds like he's going to be back. Okay, fine. If we've accepted that special teams are going to be below mediocre, then that is something that they are allowed to accept. It's not something I have to accept as a fan because I want better special teams. Brad, go be the coordinator.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that's really ticking me off is the lack of clarity at offensive coordinator. So for the last week and a half, we're getting reports of, Adam Stenavich is interviewing for X job to become their play caller. Since that's technically an improvement or an upgrade in his job description, he doesn't call plays in Green Bay, they don't need to accept the fact that Stenavich is interviewing for other jobs. But the news comes across a couple hours ago that Brian Daboll will be Robert Saleh's next offensive coordinator in Tennessee. And I look around the league, and I notice teams that underperformed this year are not okay with complacency. For example, how about a team that's been to multiple Super Bowls the last half decade, the Kansas City Chiefs? They didn't make the playoffs this year. What'd they do at the end of the season? They allowed their offensive coordinator to go out and interview for jobs, whether that be offensive coordinator or head coach. And finally, it reached a point in the offseason where it's been a while and they can't really just sit in flux anymore. And they say, you know what, we're actually going to move on from Matt Nagy. Good luck to you. We're going to bring back Eric Bieniemy because that's an upgrade. The Packers have yet to make an extreme distinction on what they're doing in terms of the direction they're going at offensive coordinator. Stenavich is out there interviewing for jobs, but are they just welcoming him back with open arms? I want you to remember, just 3 weeks ago, almost 4 weeks ago, right before the playoff game against the Chicago Bears, Adam Stenavich said this about first-round pick Matthew Golden.
It's tough right now, like it honestly is, because you got Christian, you got Romeo, you got Jay Reed back. Like, these guys have got really good experience and they're really good players, and those are the guys you're leaning on right now. And I think Golden's got a really bright future. He's very talented, and his time will come. But I think right now, just with the room the way it is, he's not going to be in that premier role when the playoffs come around.
5 targets, 4 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown in the only playoff game.
That's damning.
Yeah. How can the man that is allegedly in charge of the offensive room, aside from Matt LaFleur, but Matt LaFleur is more the CEO. He is the play caller, but he's overseeing the entire operation, offense, defense, special teams. Stenavich is tasked with overseeing and understanding the pulse of the offensive room. Does that sound like a man who has the pulse of the offensive room? Because when you finally put the ball in a great playmaker, your first-round pick's hands, 4 catches, 84 yards, and a touchdown in a do-or-die game, just a week after he says, yeah, he's not going to be in a premier spot. I don't understand why the Packers don't view the world through the scope everybody else does. Doing the same thing over and over and over again is the definition of insanity. And allowing Adam Stenavich to moonlight and pretend to be the offensive coordinator on this team is damaging to their Super Bowl chances. And we've waited now 2.5 weeks for a freaking announcement. We don't actually even know that Matt LaFleur got a contract extension yet. The Packers haven't announced it. We don't actually know that Jonathan Gannon's the defensive coordinator. The Packers haven't announced it. Let's get some urgency like we talked about a year ago. I'm sick of it, man.
Strophy's hot on the Packers. I'm actually right in your corner, Strofe. I think it's crazy to see an organization that has championship standard be so content with a lack of urgency. Is so just okay with how things are going. Making the playoffs, let's not rock the ship. Let's make sure we focus on continuity, not disruption. And we're only going to make changes if we're forced into making changes, right? Halfley got a head coaching job, so we have to bring in a new defensive staff. We're only going to make changes if Stenavich goes and finds another job as an OC, not if he comes back. I'm right there with you, Strofe. I would love to see a little bit more action, a little more decisiveness, a little bit more distinction between this is who we are, but this is where we're trying to be. Because the reality is, the Packers are going to be punished by this lack of decisiveness. If Stenavich comes back because he's not getting jobs elsewhere, it's going to be same old, Kyle. Matt LaFleur is not going to be pushed. It's going to be an echo chamber. And this is a guy that basically just kind of inherited the OC job. He was the offensive line coach. And no, Matt LaFleur is really pulling the levers and the switches for the Packers offense. But you need new, fresh ideas. Jordan Love needs to be pushed. Matt LaFleur needs to be pushed. He needs another mind offensively and game plan in the building to help this offense be what it should be, what it needs to be if you're a Super Bowl contender. And the same thing with Rich Bisaccia. The thing is, Matt LaFleur doesn't want to be the bad guy. He doesn't want to be the bad guy. It's the reason why Joe Barry stayed longer than he should have. It's the reason why Rich Bisaccia is staying longer than he should have. He doesn't want to be the bad guy. He doesn't want to fire people. And because of that, he misses out on other top candidates. Everybody else around the NFL is making serious, focused, legitimate changes. If they're seeing that they're not going to the Super Bowl, if they're not going to where they want to go, they're focusing on change, and they're looking at every area, turning over every rock, and wondering, what can we improve on? The Packers just keep rolling back the clock, keep on turning it back, and hoping that things are different. The reality is, how can we expect anything to be different if you do the same thing over and over again?
Brad, real quick, that's something I want to talk about because I feel like it's something we've beat around the bush with. And again, loyalty is a wonderful human quality. I like to surround myself with loyal individuals who I can trust. I don't think it's a good quality for an NFL head coach. And it's been his biggest flaw throughout the years as the head coach of the Packers, game management aside, right? When it comes to constructing a coaching staff around him, he's been far too loyal to guys that stink.
Yeah, he trusts people around him that he feels like they're on his team. They're not trying to sneak or do anything, because that's so important. I mean, Brad, you played in the NFL, and it's important to have guys that are trying to raise you up versus guys that are looking for the next opportunity or maybe have some dissent within that locker room.
Yeah, loyalty in life is a strength, but loyalty in the NFL is a weakness. And I think that when you are chained down by loyalty, it clouds your vision because nobody else in the NFL is operating with loyalty and doesn't improve your team. Basically, when you're loyal, you are willing to stick with someone through thick and thin. In the NFL, you move on when things get thin. Everybody else is, and not to say you do what everybody else is doing, but if everybody else around you is insatiably pursuing greatness and making no qualms about, hey, if I gotta let you go, I gotta let you go. And you're not doing that, you're going to be able to fall behind. And, this delay in making a decision, if Matt LaFleur does move on from Steno, but just too late, the sea of people by which he can hire as an offensive coordinator has gotten weaker.
Yeah, when I look at this, it's just basically this. Matt LaFleur needs to look in the mirror. He needs to figure out exactly what direction he wants to go, and he needs to get up the guts to have a man-to-man conversation with Adam Stenavich, because clearly, from my perspective, Adam Stenavich is not the guy for the Packers to be the offensive coordinator. If he looks in the mirror, he talks to Adam Stenavich and says, okay, is this guy the best guy to help lead this offense in the sense of does he really help us when it comes to getting the offensive install? Does he help me on the game day execution? Does he help me make adjustments? Is this the guy that is extremely effective in assisting on game day to ensure that the Green Bay Packers are in a position to win? If the answer to all of those questions is not yes, if it's not yes, not yes to 4 to 6 to 5 of the 6. No, if the answer is not yes to every single one, talking about what he can do to help elevate this game plan, how can he do to make adjustments, if the answer is not yes, then he has to go. We are within this window of opportunity with the Packers, and you cannot waste your time being loyal to somebody. Matt LaFleur's job is not to train up Adam Stenavich. No, not at this point. Matt LaFleur's job is to be able to look at Stenavich and say, if something were to happen to me, if I was to get sick and I can't call plays or I had to miss practice as Sean McVay missed practice and Mike LaFleur, the brother of Matt LaFleur, was able to step up and do install and get the guys ready for a game. If you cannot entrust Adam Stenavich to do that and excel at a high level, then he is not the guy for the Packers. And when I look at this, it just seems like Matt LaFleur is dragging him along, not like he's some intern, but like he's some assistant versus him being ready to go. I want somebody to be the offensive coordinator who can step in and call plays and this team not miss a beat. And I feel like if Matt LaFleur isn't pulling the string and calling the plays, the team will miss a beat. And that's why it's time to either demote Adam Stenavich back to being the offensive line coach or whatever you want to do to be an offensive consultant or assistant, and bring somebody else in here who can challenge you, who can elevate you, who you believe truly has a chance not just to be an offensive coordinator, but a young rising star that can be a head coach. They brought in Sean Mannion to be the QB coach, and he was supposed to be this hot commodity because people feel like he has the potential to be a future head coach. There's no way in the world our QB coach should be a hotter commodity than our offensive coordinator. So that's the issue that I have when it comes to Adam Stenavich. Is I do not believe he is elevating Matt LaFleur to a level of ensuring that Matt LaFleur can secure a championship for this team. He's not helping Matt LaFleur make the in-game adjustments where we see on, 2-3 and outs to start against Chicago, and not having something where he can go to him and say, I saw this. And I'll leave it here. Last week, or not even last week, on Sunday in that game, Josh McDaniels, who is a mastermind, he calls the plays for the New England Patriots. They ran the ball right, and he was setting up. He was setting up on third down. He wasn't just running that play just to say, okay, how many yards we get. He was watching what did the defensive end do? What did the outside linebacker do? Did they crash? What did they do? And on that third down call, when they needed to get it, play action fake, he allowed Drake May to keep it, and he picked up the first down. Where is the person at telling Matt LaFleur, I saw this tendency, maybe try doing this? I don't think Matt has that help, and that's why this Packers team collapsed twice against the Chicago Bears.
Well, if you look at the Patriots, Vrabel has assembled a great staff, and Kyle, obviously, with your cousin on the team, you have been more attentive to the Denver Broncos, and you illuminated last night to me, you went through the defensive, or the support staff underneath Sean Payton in Denver, elite coaches underneath him, defense, offense, and special teams, and that's something that's been missing in Green Bay. And I want you to think about what it would communicate to players if a coach who has been mediocre, who isn't really moving the needle, who hasn't been near greatness, what that communicates to the players, the rest of the organization by him sticking around. It communicates that like good enough is good enough. And if you try your hardest, but darn it, you're not elite, we're going to keep you around. The Green Bay Packers are generally speaking loyal to their first round draft picks, to their coaches, but they don't move on early enough when they realize that something is amiss, and that takes up a roster spot, that takes up a coaching spot that could move the ball further down the field. So I think you're exactly right. You just wonder if this doesn't prompt changes, what possibly could. But this is the Packers, the way they do it. Matt LaFleur is always a year late, delayed in moving on from guys, and I don't think he's doing a good enough job at surrounding himself with great minds, and not just good enough, but great minds that actually push this team further from being competitive in a playoff team to a true Super Bowl contender.
800-990-3776. That is the Carbless talking text line where less is more. And Stro came with the heat talking about the fact that he is disappointed and he is upset that the Packers' lack of sense of urgency with any moves this offseason, whether it comes to what's going to happen with the special teams coordinator and Rich Bisaccia, or the fact that Adam Stenavich did not get the offensive coordinator position down in Tennessee, and now we don't know what is next on the offensive side of the ball. 800-990-3776. Do you share the same level of disappointment that we do? And I'll say this, Stro, is we heard Adam Stenavich before the Packers game against the Bears say that comment about Matthew Golden. And now after seeing the performance, right? We saw the performance, but after the season, we all thought, okay, Packers got to change something on offense. It's been weeks, and I know there haven't been too many rumblings. I know that Rob Demoski, he joined Jen, Gabe, and Chewy yesterday and kind of alluded to the fact that there may be some movement on the offensive side of the football, but there's no guarantees. And hearing him say that Matthew Golden, this just isn't his time to shine, and watch when the guy got the ball at the line of scrimmage and made magic happen and tried to do all he could to get your team to the next round, and you're telling me that throughout the season, the offensive coordinator who was supposed to be helping with game planning, who's supposed to be helping with player development, who's supposed to be identifying where we should get the ball at and where we can find a weakness in the defense, you mean to tell me he didn't believe that Matthew Golden should be touching the ball more at the line of scrimmage just to have his ball in his hands with guys blocking for him? That is indicative of what we should believe in him. That right there, that play by Matthew Golden, that shows you that obviously Adam Stenavich is not the greatest evaluator and not the guy who understands who needs to touch the rock in order to put points on the board for the Packers.
Yeah, and when you have a weapon like that, you get creative with getting the ball in his hands. You put two minds together in Matt LaFleur and Stenavich, and they couldn't figure out how to get that weapon the ball more often. I get it that it's a crowded room, but especially when Tucker Kraft went down, all of a sudden catches and targets open up because it's all the different receivers, and they love talking about how, hey, you know what, in our system, there is no number one wide receiver, but they all spread around. The targets get spread. We'll spread them around to Matthew Golden because you see what he can do. I just think that this goes back to a lack of urgency in the building, Ed policy giving Matt LaFleur an extension, making him feel comfortable and cushion his role, and there's some benefit to continuity in Matt LaFleur. I'm not saying that they should get rid of him, but Matt LaFleur needs to take that and say, I need to operate with urgency with all these coaches underneath me, and I'm still waiting for him to do that.
Woo! I see y'all on the Carbless talking text line at 800-990-3776. I see you all reacting to maybe our overreaction, or some of you are feeling the fire that we have and the disappointment that Adam Stenavich currently is still the offensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. And I think Alex Strofe was upset because now that Brian Daboll is going to be the offensive coordinator in Tennessee, a place that Stenavich interviewed for and was a finalist for, now that means the ball is in the court of Matt LaFleur. Are you going to keep Stenavich, or are you going to get rid of him? We say get rid of him. What do you say? 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless talking text line. We'll continue this hot conversation talking about the Green Bay Packers next on Kyle, Brust, and Norman.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
I'm sorry that I don't want to touch Ben's Peter.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Truth Nation, mark your calendars for Friday, February 20th, as we will be hosting our second annual Truth Community Awards, hosted by the legendary Home, Blow, and Bailey Cope. Tickets are on sale now. Visit 1017truthawards.com to learn more. The Truth Community Awards are sponsored by Milwaukee College Prep, the Milwaukee Bucks, Gruber, Steinhoffel, Cousin Subs, and 3rd Street Market Hall. Come celebrate with us on Friday, February 20th at the Truth Community Awards from 5:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. Do not miss out on the best community awards event of the year.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free, and 0% financing for 60 months, $1,000 off, plus a bonus vacation voucher. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's 4 walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here, you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
UW Credit Union presents the Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org.
With your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, I'm Will Summers. This week's UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week is Arrowhead senior and Minnesota commit Natalie Kussow. Kussow etched her name into the record books, becoming the all-time leading scorer in Waukesha County girls basketball history. She followed the record-breaking milestone with a dominant performance in Arrowhead's 77-41 win over Muskego, finishing with 33 points as the Warhawks improved to a perfect 13-0 on the season. Already a Wisconsin Gatorade Player of the Year and a contributor to a state championship track and field team, Kussow continues to lead one of the top programs in Wisconsin while preparing to join the University of Minnesota next season. Congratulations to Natalie Kussow, your UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
It's time for the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Matrix Basements.
Marquette fell on the road at Butler, 87-76, dropping the Golden Eagles to 7-14 overall and 2-8 in Big East play. Freshman Nigel James Jr. paced Marquette with 15 points and 8 assists, providing steady leadership on the floor.
Long rebound, Marquette. Long pass. James is free. He'll go to the basket and stuff it with 2 hands. Great pass.
Great look up the floor by Chase Ross.
Chase Ross threw the long pass, probably 80 feet.
The Golden Eagles showed balance offensively, getting 4 players into double figures and made a second-half push that trimmed the margin to 1 possession before Butler pulled away late. Marquette returns home Tuesday night at Fiserv Forum to host Creighton.
This has been the Marquette Minute on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Matrix Basements. Visit gomarquette.com/matrix to enter to win 4 tickets to National Marquette Day, Saturday, February 7th, when Marquette hosts Butler. You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. Shout out to the folks in Madison holding it down. I know y'all loving listening to 100.5 ESPN Madison. I see y'all up in the Beeve and Dodge County holding it down on 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam, and of course in the 414 and surrounding areas here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. I am Kyle Wallace. He's Bradley Nortman. Yes, that Bradley Nortman who played in the NFL, who played in the Super Bowl, who also played in multiple Rose Bowls, and that is Alex Stro, who's just a guy like me. Ain't that right, Alex?
I'm just a guy like you.
Yeah, we're just guys, man.
What the hell does that mean?
We're just guys.
I am not just a guy.
Okay, so what are you? How would people know you? I think the most famous way you got known, I don't think you want to talk about it, do you?
Are you referring to my combine?
Your attempted combine. Yes.
Or are you referring to when I laughed at Colston Loveland being drafted?
What do you think you're most known for on a grand scale?
The combine.
Most known for on a grand scale.
Yeah,
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, it's a combine. It's a combine.
Probably.
Yeah. So I mean. So did you want me to? Because I could have said it. And the guy who's known for being absolutely embarrassing.
But I don't know if someone says, "Oh, Alex Stro, that's the combine guy."
Right. I don't either, and that's why I struggle with that.
Well, they don't know his name, but if they saw, I guarantee you, if Tucker Kraft saw him, they'd be like, that's the guy.
Well,
that's the combine guy.
I had to tell Tucker Kraft it was me.
And then he said, "Oh yeah, that's right, it's you."
And then we became best friends. Yeah.
Tucker Kraft knew that combine video?
He posted it on his story saying that sports reporters should have to do combines and that will dictate their income.
Did he apologize for saying that to you?
No, but there was a newfound level of respect somehow because I confronted him about it. Yeah,
you confronted him about it.
Yeah, and then he went out to have a breakout season. I'm just throwing that out there.
Sure, yeah. I'm sure you're inspiration.
Motivated.
Well, maybe Adam Stenavich can have a breakout offensive coordinator season with the Green Bay Packers. He doesn't call the plays with the Packers, but there are many offensive coordinators that don't call plays on great teams with great head coaches who call plays, who find a lot of success. Unfortunately, here in Green Bay, I do think we find success, but I don't believe that Adam Stenavich is helping Matt LaFleur be successful. On the Carbulous Talking text line at 800-990-3776. I see some of you all share some of the sentiments that we have, but also some folks who want to push back on how upset you guys are about how you feel about Stenavich. As in Darian said, calm down, Francis. I don't know who Francis is. Do you want the coaches to tell the world their offensive game plan each week? Everyone is extremely vague regarding their offense and defensive game plans week to week. Also, Matt LaFleur hired Gannon before talking to Leonard. Now, Strof is asking for an expedited process. Make up your mind, Strof. Sign G-Town Woody.
All right, G-Town Woody, Francis. Listen here, pal. No, I'm just kidding. I also didn't really advocate for the Jim Leonard hiring. I just said I thought it was interesting that we were acting like Jonathan Gannon was the hottest commodity in the world, and he couldn't wait an extra 24 hours to put the paper in front of him. I'm fine with the Gannon hire. I just thought, okay, are we not leaving every stone unturned, right? And I think that if you want to get back to a Super Bowl level, you have to turn over every stone you can, and I felt like that wasn't the case in the D.C. search. But again, I'm fine with the hire. I think it was a good one. It checked a box that was important to me, which was I wanted a failed head coach. I know that sounds strange. That's what I wanted. When it comes to this, at least we knew there was coordinators being interviewed. At least we knew that they were backfilling Hafley and planning on backfilling Hafley, assuming he got a job. I don't know that there was ever a true expectation of Adam Stenavich of landing a job this offseason. He had a couple looks, but how often in professional sports do you see a fan base pretty much unanimously cheer the idea of somebody leaving their coaching staff? Right? Like, I didn't see a ton of people going, yes, thank God Hafley's gone. Thank God he's the Miami head coach. I don't know if you guys have been on the internet the last 48 hours. Just about everybody that's a Packers fan that has commented on the idea of Adam Stenavich interviewing with Tennessee, the reaction was, oh, Tennessee, you got to take him. You need him. You really be doing us a favor. Like, that's probably tells you all you need to about Adam Stenavich and the way he's viewed.
Yeah, and at first I wondered, like, is Matt LaFleur taking it easy because he's an offensive head coach? And so, like, not as big of a deal. But all you have to do is look toward the Kansas City Chiefs, what Strofe said. Andy Reid, the preeminent offensive mind in the NFL. And Patrick Mahomes, the best quarterback in the NFL. And even he said, this is not good enough. We need somebody else. Matt Nagy, gone. Eric Bieniemy back in. They are not content. They are the ones that are trying to move the ball forward and make sure that you have not just good staff around you, but great. And I just wonder if the Packers are approaching it the same way. That was my whole thing with the defensive coordinator. Why not make sure that you interview everybody who could possibly be the best at their role? That's why I said Jim Leonard should be interviewed. Don't rush for Jonathan Gannon. But now you're in a position where Matt LaFleur has slowed this process of offensive coordinator down. Other offensive coordinators are getting plucked for the same role. So even if he moves on, it's going to be really, really hard to get the best and the greatest candidate available because the sea of your options has diminished over the last couple weeks.
Make sure you watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube or ESPN Madison on YouTube, where you can give us a like, Give us a share. Give us a subscribe as we are on our road to 20,000 subscribers. And you can also comment on today's conversation as we vent about the fact that we're not satisfied with Adam Stenavich as being the offensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers. 800-990-3776. Carl and Rylander. Complacency, huh? That's how you feel? Carl going once. Carl going twice. He's too far north, Stro.
I say Rylander's way up there.
It is.
Carl!
Stro, he's gone. He's gone. He's gone. How about Dirty D? Dirty Diana McGuanago. I'm sure you got a lot of good things
What's
to
up,
say,
Dirty
right,
D?
girl?
Hey, well, first of all, you said you wanted to know what Stro was known for. He's known for being such a great guy, and he's definitely not Ben Brust.
How about that, Dirty D?
Well, Ben Brust can't defend himself right now. You taking shots at him?
They also should interview Jim Leonard. I think they should give it to him.
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute now.
That's
you do
right.
know they
Dirty D
hired
knows her defense.
Dirty D. You didn't listen to our show yesterday, did you?
No, my daughter was sick, so I didn't get a chance
they
to
feel
listen
better. Well,
to you guys.
just to fill you in, for anybody listening, the Packers hired Jonathan Gannon as their defensive coordinator. Did not interview Jim Leonard. Now it's rumored that Jim Leonard may be a candidate for the Buffalo Bills defensive
But
coordinator
Dirty D,
position.
I'm on your side. They should have waited. They should have interviewed him at a minimum.
That was stupid.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, thanks, Dirty D. Oh wait, Dirty D. Wait, how you feel about Giannis?
He's a
Maybe.
Wisconsin boy. They should have gave it to him. What?
Never mind. You just talk to yourself. That's all good. Appreciate you, Dirty D.
No, what did you say?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, girl. I was gonna say, how you feeling about Giannis?
Come on.
We don't want to talk about that.
I think that might be something.
Antetokounmpo forever.
Yeah, well, forever in the NBA, not forever a buck. We'll talk about whose fault that is, as reports came out today that somebody said that he believes Giannis played his last game in Milwaukee. Just to get back to this offensive coordinator position, there's people asking us, well, what do you guys want as an offensive coordinator? Brad, you being somebody who played in the NFL and you were around a lot of good coordinators, what is it something the Green Bay Packers should look for specifically in a guy who is not a play caller, but a member of the staff who's helping the offensive play caller?
Well, Adam Stenavich, kind of part of the old guard, came up from an offensive line coach. I would love to see a young, up-and-coming offensive mind that's particularly coach quarterbacks, because it sounds like the Packers might also lose their quarterbacks coach in Mannion. So there are plenty of really good quarterback coaches that are part of great offensive systems. You see some of them already getting interviewed for not only OC, but head coaching jobs. So I think Matt LaFleur's offense needs a little bit of a revamp, right? He came in and struck gold and rolled with Aaron Rodgers, and he's given Jordan Love a steady foundation to build off of. I think there's some important wrinkles. I think there's some important new philosophies and tendencies that you could throw in there and challenge Matt LaFleur from a young, sharp, fresh way to look at things type of mind. I think there's plenty of those around the NFL. I don't think you go O-line route. I think you go young quarterback coach who's a smart mind, who's building up the system. That's what Matt LaFleur was. That's what Sean McVay was. That's what Kyle Shanahan was. These young quarterbacks, coaches that are smart and bright and will challenge the flow of authority. I think that's what Matt LaFleur needs.
And on the Carbless Talking text line, where you can join in on the conversation at 800-990-3776. Jim in the 920 said, you guys are totally off base. Let the process take place. I am not impressed with the new coaches and staffs around the NFL. I would take Matt LaFleur over all of them. You do not know what is going on at 1265. They all have a sense of urgency. Their job is on the line. I do think there's some belief and truth in that. 800-990-3776. Let's try this again. Carl and Rylander. Complacency.
Yes.
Yeah, gotcha. What's happening, man?
Complete complacency. Sorry, I was in a bad spot in the shop earlier. So if you sit here and watch the way they're handling these questions and stuff, they don't seem to be they are making decisions the exact same way that Rashawn Gary plays football. Wow. I think it's a complete system-wide problem. Take a play off. Next time we'll play. We'll get them next time. There is no next time. It's the NFL. It's gone in the blink of an eye. That's my 2 cents.
Appreciate you, man. Keep working in that shop.
Carl, it's a good take, and
I disagree.
I do agree with
You
Carl.
think you're comparing the Green Bay Packers to Rashawn Gary?
Okay, that might be a
that's
little
extremely disrespectful to the Green Bay Packers.
But you think they're operating with extreme urgency. You think Matt LaFleur is operating with extreme urgency. You think Brian Gutekunst is operating with extreme urgency.
I think
like their jobs are on the line.
No, I don't think they operate like their jobs are on the line. But I will say this: there is some validity to the fact that they hired Jonathan Gannon within a week of losing their defensive coordinator, right? And then on top of that, when it comes to the offensive coordinator position, it may be a position where it was just like, hey, we're not going to fire him yet. We're not going to move on for him yet if he's getting these different job interviews because we don't want to hurt his chances of potentially getting a job somewhere else, especially that's when it's his friend. I don't think the Green Bay Packers right now are slim pickings when it comes to the offensive coordinators that are out there currently now because regardless of any way that you look at it, either you're going to get a guy who is currently already not calling plays or you're going to get a guy who is a QB coach somewhere or somewhere. You're not going to get a guy like a Josh McDaniels to come in and not call plays. And so I think the Packers do have some time to be patient when it comes to when they select their next offensive coordinator or if they decide to move forward with Adam Stenavich. Again, 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line here on Kyle Bruston Nortman. Curtis and Madison, you have some thoughts on the OC job.
How we doing, guys? Thanks for taking my call.
Thank you. Thanks for calling.
Honestly, I think the DC job I think John Gannon's a good hire. He did really good with the Eagles. People keep posting that video of his first day with the Cardinals. He's not a head coach anymore. He doesn't have to give any motivational speeches. I think he'll be able to focus the defense, which as a Lions fan I'm a little worried about because he'll have Michael Parsons to play with. OC job, LaFleur's going to call the plays, I think, unless he's giving that up.
He will.
Your OC job's he will? Well, that's going to be a big hire for them because I feel like he's going to have a tough time letting loose of that. But he needs to because I think he gets a little tight in big games. And last thing is Giannis is every right to head out, won the city a title. We're just in a position where we made some moves to try to get another one that didn't work. It's okay for him to move on, but I wouldn't be shocked if he stayed. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Curtis. I appreciate you. Again, 800-990-3776. You can join in on today's conversation. Also, watch and stream us live on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and ESPN Madison on YouTube. Now, some of you all, we really haven't brought up Gannon too much, but some of y'all want to bring Gannon into this conversation. I do think there's some frustration festering with folks being upset with the quick hire of a Jonathan Gannon, and some people upset that there may not be stones being turned over looking at is the offensive coordinator position in Adam Stenavich, is that a perfect match? There's someone here on Kyle Bruston Nortman that says that the Jonathan Gannon defense that we're going to get or we think we're going to get ain't going to be that. He doesn't believe that the Eagles and the Packers are lying, and Brad will tell you on the other side why he doesn't believe we should get excited about Jonathan Gannon. Next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
What's going on? Big, come on.
It's getting tough. It's getting slow.
Ben, don't be pathetic. Your father's with your baby. They're listening. You gotta be better.
But I'm giving it my all. I don't know what you're at either.
Stop humping the ground.
Yeah.
Get up.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Get ready for the ultimate freestyle experience. Monster Jam Freestyle Mania, presented by Spin Master. For the first time ever, Monster Jam trucks team up with freestyle motocross bikes to deliver gravity-defying skills and thrills. See one-of-a-kind FMX bikes designed to match your favorite iconic Monster Jam trucks. Cheer on your favorite team. 2 times the freestyle action, full send family fun. Coming to Fiserv Forum this weekend. Brought to you by B80 Tires. Visit monsterjam.com.
At Grunberg Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Grunberg Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Start your Milwaukee weight loss program now to lose weight fast. Many lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two. Call for your free consultation. 262-235-3980. 262-235-3980 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
Ben Brust here for the Princeton Club. If you're looking for your better tomorrow, you know where to go. It's the Princeton Club. If you're looking to grow, it's also the Princeton Club, because they will cheer for you in all areas of your life. The best way to do that is to start a foundation of having a healthy body, and your growth will start from there. With the cleanest health clubs in Wisconsin, they provide everything for you to reach your goals. Join before January 31st to get the lowest rates of 2026. Make sure you join the Princeton Club for a better tomorrow.
Grab the dial and crank it up, baby, because Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is spinning its Winning Hits collection. Over the next 3 months, you could win a share of over $1 million in prizes. On top of thousands in cash and reward play, you could win one of 3 new Ford vehicles in the grand finale drawings on March 27th. Just play with your rewards card to earn entries. Press play on the Winning Hits collection, only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Looking for a delicious meal without breaking the bank? Cousin Subs has you covered. Our $10 meal deal gives you a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub piled high with fresh hand-sliced ingredients, crisp veggies, and all your favorite toppings. Add a bag of chips or regular fries, a fountain drink, and a cookie, all for just $10. This deal's available online or through the Cousins app only, and you can enjoy your meal at home, at work, or delivered straight to your door, hot and fresh. Cousin Subs. We believe in better. Available at participating locations. Offer subject to change.
Ben Brust here for Iron Jock. It's a new year, and that means new goals. If you're still working on your New Year's resolutions right now, congrats. You've officially made it past Quitter's Day. More than 70% of people give up by now, so this is a win. Iron Jock wants to reward you. Now, through January 27th, our listeners can get 30% off any Iron Jock purchase over $75 when you use promo code ESPN30. And you'll also score a free 3-pack of Iron Jock socks, a $25 value. Iron Jock helps you look good, smell good, and keep showing up.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit fighting to save lives, protect our climate, and strengthen our economy through the shift to zero emissions. Visit us at earthjustice.org. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Kyle Brust and Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Bradley Nortman. No Ben Brust, but Alex Stro holding down behind the glass. Had a spirited conversation talking about the offensive coordinator position with Adam Stenavich and the disappointment we have that the Packers may end up running it back with Adam Stenavich. But Bradley, Jonathan Gannon is the defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, and 2022 was a hell of a year for him. But you're saying, press the brakes. Maybe he shouldn't get all the credit for the success that the Eagles had in 2022?
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Gannon's best year as a D coordinator. He's only a D coordinator for 2 years. 2021 and 2022 for Philadelphia Eagles. Now, 2022 is the banner year. That's the year that got him the job, basically, in Arizona. And the defense was awesome for Philadelphia. Got them to the Super Bowl. And he deserves some credit, but I'm not sure as much credit as people are giving him. If you look a little bit deeper into that Philadelphia Eagles defense in 2022, they set an NFL record for sacks that year, which is in the 70s, which is quite impressive. However, if you look at their depth chart, look at their personnel, look at their D-line, their starting D-line, Hassan Reddick, Javon Hargrave, Brandon Graham, and Josh Sweat. Those are basically 4 guys that have performed at an all-pro level, and all those guys were performing at a, can't really say Pro Bowl level anymore. That doesn't have much meaning anymore after Shedeur Sanders and
Keyshawn Nixon's a Pro Bowler.
But they are knocking. They were either or knocking on the door of all pro levels, each one of them individually on their own that year. Reddick had 16, and 3 others had 11 each. 4 guys on that O-line, all 4 of them had 11 or had double-digit sacks. Riddick at 16, the other 3 had 11, and all those guys have been productive, not just that year, but throughout their whole career. So I look at that and I say, Jonathan Gannon, you deserve some credit for that, but the reality is, defensive line, getting pressure on the quarterback, it's a lot of one-on-one matchups. That's what that is. That is those guys on that Philadelphia Eagles D-line beating whoever it is they're across from, and all 4 of those guys being productive. When you have that, that's basically a defensive superpower. What did we keep hearing after this last Super Bowl when the Eagles won and got all that pressure on Mahomes? Everyone come on saying, we got to get pressure with 4. We got to get pressure with 4. We got to get pressure with 4. Why do they keep on saying that? Because when you get pressure with 4, you can do anything on the back end. You can rush the passer with extreme efficiency, and you are able to have more guys in coverage, whether it be zone or man, so where it's that much harder for guys to get open. So what that does is it suffocates the offense, and it prevents them from being able to be productive. So if you want to give Gannon some credit for being a great DC, sure, I'll give that to you, but you have to look a little bit deeper in knowing that the Green Bay Packers, they had Micah Parsons, so they got one of these 4 guys equivalents, but they don't have the other 3. He won't be able to just get pressure with 4 in the same way he did with Philadelphia. It's like the same way of coaching Michael Jordan or LeBron James or Steph Curry. When you have a guy like that, when you have a unit like this on your D-line, it's like a superpower, and it makes everything else that much easier. I'm not saying that anybody, any defensive coordinator, could have gotten as much productivity as Gannon did for that Philadelphia Eagles year. However, it's a massive benefit for him, makes things way easier, be able to have productivity like that on the D-line, something that he's not going to be able to rely on for the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I think this is very misleading by you, Brad. Good points, but I think misleading because you're leaving out the fact that you didn't talk about what these guys were before. And so you talk about a Brandon Graham. He was always great. Brandon Graham was a solidified stud by the time that he was on that Eagles football. Well, he drafted by the Eagles when he was playing with the Eagles. But when you look at a Hargrave, best season before he got a chance to be with Jonathan Gannon in sacks was 4.5. And you said he jumped up to 11, double digits? Double digit? Oh, wow. I wonder who helped him with that. And then you look at a Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat, another good player. But guess what? Josh Sweat has only had 2 seasons where he's had double-digit sacks. One was under Jonathan Gannon in Philadelphia. And then, he plays for the Arizona Cardinals, and he got double-digit sacks in 2025. Who was his head coach, I guess, in Arizona?
That would be Gannon as well.
Oh, so he had a career year under Gannon. And then Hassan Reddick, listen, he had double-digit sacks before he got there, but all of a sudden he turned into this elite player as soon as he got, not only elite player, as soon as he played with the Eagles under Jonathan Gannon. What has he been since he hasn't been with the Eagles and with Jonathan Gannon?
So are you saying that the Packers, you're expecting Rashawn Gary and LVN and Devontae Wyatt to put up double-digit sacks?
What I'm saying,
because Gannon is going to have the magic elixir to have them beat one-on-one blocks nowadays?
What I'm saying is that people have to understand a defensive coordinator just ain't out there playing Madden and pressing buttons. The defensive coordinator is helping cultivate and grow guys. His scheme is put in place to help free guys up. Now, guys have to elevate their level of play where they have to step up. No, I don't think LVN and Rashawn Gary are going to equal to those seasons where you're going to have 12, 13, 16 sacks in the season, because I don't think they're capable of it. Rashawn Gary's closer to 30 than what those guys were at the time in 2021, 2022. But what I will say is that I trust him believe that Gannon had something to do with scheming guys like Hassan Reddick to be able to eat. He was already a menace when it came to getting sacks, but he took it to a whole nother level because of the scheming and the game plan of Jonathan Gannon. And so that's why I say you can't sit here and say, well, I don't expect the Packers to have this because they had elite talent. Well, a lot of them became elite under him. Like Reddick became a name, a big-time name when he played with the Eagles, putting up those big numbers, and to the point where he got to hold out because he wanted more money. Brandon Graham was already due. Hargrave got paid off of what he did, and Josh Sweat got paid off of what he did. And a lot of that can be attributed to Jonathan Gannon getting the most out of his guys. So instead of looking at this like, well, we don't have the talent here in Green Bay that they had in Philadelphia. That may be true, but maybe we should look at it as we finally have a coach that may be able to get the most out of the guys. I believe Jeff Hafley did a great job scheming up and making sure that he limited the negatives that guys have. Limit where you know that your cornerbacks may be limited. You don't want to put them on too many islands. So you see what happened against the Bears where DJ Moore scored the touchdown on that post play in overtime. So I think he did a great job of doing that. But did he put guys in a position to truly succeed at every single position? We'll see. Jonathan Gannon will have that opportunity to do it. That's why I think you saying this, it's the truth to it, but you're leaving out some tidbits that these guys had career years under Jonathan Gannon, and I think that matters.
Yeah, they might have had career years, but each one of those guys have went on, and maybe they didn't have the best years, the career years that you're talking about, but they never really had years where they were awful, where they were non-existent, or they had no impacts on games. That's the team that the Packers have. I mean, you're talking about Rashawn Gary, LVN, and basically anyone outside of Devontae Wyatt and, of course, Micah Parsons, guys that you're wondering, where are they? Where is anybody winning one-on-one battles? And this isn't just 1 year or 2 years. This has been the last several years of Goody not being able to get guys to win their one-on-one battles. We have Brian Bulaga come out and say the same thing. That's why Goody was so focused on getting a guy like Micah Parsons to actually be able to close out games and get pressure on the quarterback.
Yes,
so to me, it's a big drop-off from these guys that you can do a whole lot with. If you put these 4 guys on the Green Bay Packers, even with a Micah Parsons, like taking him out of the way, this would change the entire complexion of the Green Bay Packers defense and make the job way easier on Jonathan Gannon.
Yeah, again, I don't think when Josh Sweat got drafted, I don't think people were talking about how he's just going to be this guy that's going to get this big payday. So I just got to give credit where credit is due. Brandon Graham is a great player, but his best season came under Gannon. The only year he had double-digit sacks came under under Jonathan Gannon. So again, I say before you start judging, let's let these things play out and let's have these expectations for Jonathan Gannon to get the most out of his guys. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talk and Text line. Do you believe that Jonathan Gannon can get the most out of his guys? 800-990-3776. Brad thinks that it's going to be an uphill battle because of the defensive line that we have. Where I believe that I think Jonathan Gannon has the opportunity to get the most out of LVN. Will he get double-digit sacks? If he gets double-digit sacks, Jonathan Gannon will be a head coach again.
That would be remarkable.
If LVN gets double-digit, not Rashawn Gary, because Rashawn Gary's gotten to like 8 these last couple years or whatever. He ain't the one. If LVN finds his way to 9 or 10 sacks in the season, oh yeah, Jonathan Gannon's going to be a hot candidate because if he gets that many sacks in the season, that means the Green Bay Packers are doing well. When you look at Devontae Wyatt, when he comes back, I think Devontae Wyatt, because in college he was pretty good at pass rushing, that's another guy that can pop and maybe get 6, 7, 8 sacks.
And don't get it twisted. I'm not trying to say that Jonathan Gannon doesn't deserve credit and he's not a good D coordinator. I think he is. His best year came when those guys were operating at an all-pro level.
Because
the Packers, and what's that?
Because of who?
Well, their own talent, I'd say primarily, but maybe Gannon put him in a decent spot.
You didn't become a better punter because of your coaching?
The problem is that was a top 5 unit, a top 1 unit in the NFL, and he had his best year with it. The Packers, even with Micah Parsons, have a bottom half D-line in the NFL. So you can't use the same game plan. You can't rely on the same things that you used with Philly that year, his best year, because you are not going to get that level of productivity in the same way with the Green Bay Packers. The level of skill is such a big drop-off from that year.
800-990-3776. Again, that is the Carbless Talk and Text line where this is more. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube as we continue this conversation. Just talking about the Packers coordinators, I just feel that right now the Green Bay Packers, for a team that made the playoffs 3 straight years in a row, for a team that looked like they were, Super Bowl contenders during the season, there seems to be quite a bit of negative energy coming from people in Packers land. Now, Brad, I'm not trying to paint you as a nervous Nelly or a hater, but I'm just saying you're not happy about the defensive coordinator. You're not happy about Rich Bisaccia. You said Matt LaFleur maybe he shouldn't come back.
Well, I didn't go that far.
What did you say? You said Matt LaFleur? You said Matt LaFleur. Did you? You didn't.
I said if you can get Tomlin or Harbaugh, you should examine that and probably go.
So you had googly eyes, wandering eyes.
Yeah, I got wandering eyes for sure. Wouldn't you have wandering eyes after 3 straight years of a 7th seed and a crushing, soul-crushing, painful top 5 loss in the last 25 years?
I'm loyal. I'm 10 toes down for mine. And Matt LaFleur is one of mine. He got 2 more years to figure out what's going to happen before I start having those wandering eyes. But again, 800-990-3776. Gene, we see you. We'll get to you on the other side as we'll continue this conversation talking about the coordinators. We also have Mark Tauscher joining us at 3:15. We're going to talk Packers with him, but also we got to talk to him about Giannis because he's a big Bucks fan. Courtside Tauscher was, and we'll get a little bit of Nerd Man here on Kyle, Bruss, and Nortman. Keep it locked. We'll be back.
Nerd Man. You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Let them know the dread-headed brother loves the Green Bay Packers. When you see me, Goody, let me in the box.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. All day, every day. The Carbless Talk and Text line is open for you.
First off, there is not one team that's on the fringe that scares me.
800-990-3776. The Carbless Talk and Text line. This is more.
Earth Justice is a national legal nonprofit defending the environment and people's health. Until justice stands for all, our lawyers will never rest. More at earthjustice.org/neverrest. Earth Justice, because the earth needs a good lawyer.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
At Saturn Lounge, we know if your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform. Your storytelling would inspire. Your campaigns would deliver leads that become sales. You wouldn't need a report to tell you. Visit SaturnLounge.com today. When marketing works, it shows.
Fisco is always there for your auto body care. When accidents happen, Fisco Auto Body on Forest Home in Franklin is there when you need them. Got a broken mirror? They'll take care of it. Dented bumper? Scratch paint? Fisco Auto Body will take care of it. If there's any damage you need fixed, Fisco has you covered. Their expert workmanship is guaranteed for the life of your vehicle. So stop in for all of your auto bumps and dings. Once again, you know the line. That's Fisco.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. You know that saying, new year, new you. Well, how about new year, new home upgrade? Universal Windows Direct has a January offer that's all about starting strong and saving big. Right now, when you buy 4 windows, you get 4 free, and that's one of the biggest offers they've ever done, and with 0% interest financing for 60 months. You'll also get $1,000 off your entire project, plus a vacation voucher with every purchase. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to Bucks legend Terry Cummings. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Did you know Professional Construction Inc. has an in-house team of interior designers? We're excited to bring our expertise to you with our brand new virtual interior design program. Maybe you're not ready for a full construction project, but you are ready to refresh that outdated room. Our PCI design team creates stunning photorealistic renderings, a mood board, and a curated shopping list, all delivered to you in just days.
For all your construction and design needs,
visit professionalconstructioninc.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Customizable just for you. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Everything okay, Kyle? Who are you talking to?
I was trying to talk to producer, and I was gonna ask you about the great partners that we have, but I picked up my sheet from yesterday that I scribbled on, but I pressed the wrong button. Well, that's what happens when you put me in the driver's seat. But it is Kyle Brust and Norman here on ESPN Wisconsin. Let your voices be heard as we talk about the offensive coordinator position and defensive coordinator position and whether or not you are satisfied with the direction of the Green Bay Packers. You can join in on the conversation on YouTube by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube or ESPN Madison on YouTube. Make sure you give us a like, a share, and a subscribe as we are on our road to 20,000 subscribers. Gene in Sun Prairie, you have some worries. What are those?
Hey, gentlemen, great show. My concern has to do with Nathaniel Hackett.
Oh.
Not too long ago, Nathaniel Hackett was fired halfway through the season with the Denver Broncos. His tenure there was a disaster. He goes to the New York Jets, gets fired there, an absolute disaster there. And it just concerns me that he may be put in some role other than consulting by Matt LaFleur because he's a friend and he makes good vibes in the building. Well, I'm sorry, but you have to be more than a nice guy with good vibes. These people need to win. And I can't imagine anybody asking Vince Lombardi to keep somebody on because they had good vibes.
Gene, can I ask you a question really quickly? Gene, now,
sure.
What is it about? Now, I understand that Nathaniel Hackett sucked as a head coach down in Denver, and as an offensive coordinator, it didn't seem like it was right. He was just kissing up to Aaron Rodgers. But during his tenure as an offensive coordinator in Green Bay, what was so bad about that?
He is not the play caller. Matt LaFleur clearly is the play caller. And we've been talking for weeks about Matt needs new eyes and a new perspective. Bringing in somebody from the past who did it the way they always did it, I think is a mistake. We've talked about there's some really good young offensive minds out there. I think Matt maybe needs an injection of some new creativity, and Nathaniel Hackett is not that person.
Oh, that's fair enough, Gene. Appreciate you. Wow, look at that. Stroph's on his
double,
side.
triple ding, quadruple ding.
Stroph, why are you so adamant about it with all these ding, 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 dings?
Because why? What did I use at the beginning of the show? The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. As good as the Packers were in the red zone when Nathaniel Hackett was the offensive coordinator. Let's get some fresh ideas in the building. Isn't that what this whole thing's been about? Isn't that what we've been asking for all offseason? Fresh ideas?
And you're going on to year 8. I mean, it's year 8 with Matt LaFleur. That's a long time for anything, but for a head coach in the NFL, you would expect growth, you would expect greatness, or if not, that's where that wandering eye comes in, Kyle. So I would expect after year 8, you shake things up, you change things up a little bit to have a greater result than ending how it previously did.
How long have you been married?
I've been married 11 and a half years.
8 years in, did you do anything to shake it up and keep it fresh?
It stayed fresh, baby. It stayed fresh. We were winning Super Bowls, man. We were the New England Patriots. Still are.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I've been with baby girl for a while now. But 11 and a half years, I hope it's still fresh.
Yeah. It only gets better. If you do it right, it only gets better.
That's my, honestly, hand up, my biggest fear is that after like a decade, I'd be like, whoa, this is the same thing for 10 years long. Then you got kids running around.
Kyle, you're engaged to be married this year. She listens to the show.
Yeah. I know. I'm
this
excited.
Is live.
Oh, I'm very transparent. Like, okay. Everybody here is, Miss Cleo can see the damn future, I guess. What I'm saying is that I love my girl.
You're openly saying you're worried about it getting stale.
No. What I'm worried about is that right now this feels like, how we talk about the infatuation phase. Every time, I'm always in the infatuation phase. You have ups and downs, but it's like, damn, I really love this girl.
Are you looking for honeymoon phase?
Honeymoon, infatuation, whatever it is. Honeymoon phase.
Just wait till you get to the deepening phase.
You love her. So I don't know that infatuation is necessarily the word you'd want to use.
Infatuation sounds blinded. Like you're blinded by something.
Thank you. I'm in love. And listen, I will openly admit that I think about, damn, hopefully 20 years from now I still feel this way because I can't predict how I'm going to feel. I don't know what's going to happen in my life. But I'm in a good position. So you asking him about the 11 and a half years and if it's still,
And you said,
spicy?
damn, that's a long time. How's it not stale yet?
But they dated before that, so they've been together for like 15.
Yeah, over 15 years now.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, so that's good to know because I'm on the same trajectory.
16 years.
Because y'all dated for 4 years before you got married?
2009, we started dating.
And you got married in 14?
I was in 4th grade.
Yeah. That is crazy. That is crazy.
You scooped her up early. Brad scooped her up real quick.
I said I can't let her get away.
2009 in spring or the fall?
All because he lost his wallet.
Fall.
All because he lost his wallet.
Beautiful. Meant to be.
Beautiful story, but I'll see if what's more beautiful is the thing that you love to drink, right?
Oh, that's right. I do love to drink a Carbless. That is a love relationship that I love enjoying. And guess what? News hitting your shelves nearby is the Blood Orange 4-pack is on its way. In fact, Carbless just sent me a sneak peek of the Blood Orange 4-pack. It was so good in the Tropical Bliss Variety Pack, and it was so clamored over, because I love it too, it's one of my top favorites, that it's given its own 4-pack. So I'm going to be enjoying that tonight. I'm going to be enjoying that the rest of the week. And I'm going to be enjoying the fact that it's a guilt-free experience. It's no carbs, no sugars, no gluten, just 100 calories, and the oh-so-perfect amount of carbonation. Not so much, not too little. The perfect amount, it needs to be tasted to be believed. And we already know that it's bold on flavor, and they just keep on being innovative with new flavors coming out, and each new flavor knocks it out of the park. Blood Orange being the new 4-pack that I'm going to be enjoying and scooping up. It was so good, it deserved its own exclusivity and 4-pack. So I want you to try all the flavors because they're all so good. Make sure you pick up a 4-pack of the Blood Orange as you start this new year and enjoying everything that it has in store for you. Less is more with Carbless.
Nerd Man is next.
Nerd Man.
When a trophy is raised, it can feel like the season's over, but on the ESPN app, it never really is. Because with more than 47,000 live events, plus originals, highlights, and coverage from every corner of the sports world, there's always something to dive into. No off-season, just everything a fan needs to keep going. Always in season, get all of ESPN all in one place. Download the ESPN app on your TV or phone today.
This is Monster Jam Freestyle Mania, presented by Spin Master. Monster Jam trucks team up with FMX bikes for the ultimate freestyle experience. The fun begins at the pit party, where you can meet the teams, get autographs, take pictures, and see the trucks and bikes up close. Get your pit party pass at monsterjam.com today. Must have valid event ticket to enter pit party. Restrictions may apply. Rules and activities are subject to change. Visit website for event details. Coming to Fiserv Forum this weekend.
Hey, y'all. It's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. I spent years on the mound giving everything I had, and now I feel every inning in my knees, back, and shoulders. But I didn't want surgery, and I sure didn't want to be sidelined. That's why I turned to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Christie and his team use regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No surgery, no meds, and no downtime.
Whether you're teeing off at the club or chasing the grandkids around, QC Kinetics helps you get back to doing what you love.
Call QC Kinetics now and schedule your free consultation. Natural joint pain relief with real results.
Don't let the pain slow you down. I didn't, and neither should you. My friends at QC Kinetics, they'll take care of you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN on ESPN Wisconsin. Here's Kyle Wallace, Ben Brust, and Brad Nortman.
It is hour 2 of Kyle Brust and Nortman on this frigid Tuesday afternoon. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's longtime NFL punter, Wisconsin punting legend Bradley Nortman. No Ben Brust as he's gallivanting along somewhere. And Alex Strofe, as always, holding it down on the ones and the twos. Now, Brad, you and Strofe created this whole thing called
Nerd Man
a little bit ago. And I come from doing my other show, Truth to Power, noon to 1 on 101.7 The Truth. And I get told, we got to have a Nerd Man today. Nerd Man. I said, oh, what is it about? You will find out. So I have no idea what you and Alex Strofe are cooking up with.
When the data gets dense. When the decimals demand justice. When one man dares to calculate it all. It's Brad Nerd Man on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Nerd man.
That is what I thought we were going to get.
That's what I thought we were going to get to.
Blank. But
this producer is trash.
Why?
I see why Ben yells at him every damn day.
Why wait? There is a mission that needs to be accomplished, and Nerdman is the one for it. And guys, I've been sitting back and thinking, this was a solo mission. There was no Strophus as part of this. This was something that I took with my own hands. Now, Strophus is always supporting me, and I know that, but I was curious because I don't have a whole lot of faith in this defense being elite. And that is going to be my conclusion at the end of this Nerdman segment, that it's very well documented, guys, that if we look at scoring defense, right? So how many points your defense gives up, that's the ultimate indicator of how good your defense is, because it is beat them by more and then what they score. So, of course, that's the best stat to look at. We know in 1996 and 1997, the 2 years the Packers went to the Super Bowl, they were first in scoring defense in 96 and fifth in 1997. And, of course, 2010, they were first. We know the Super Bowl years, they were top 5, if not the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. Got me thinking, well, since 2010, how has the defense been? Because I'm not confident they're going to be great going forward, but maybe the stats, maybe the numbers don't support that. So I went back and I ranked every single year from 2011 all the way to 2025 of where the Green Bay defense ended when it comes to scoring defense. It's a lot of double-digit numbers, Kyle. I'm not going to lie. Not a lot of top 10s. Are you familiar with a standard deviation? And mean?
Yeah.
We're talking little statistics here.
Yeah, the standard deviation away from something, and the mean is like what it is in the middle of everything. So the average of the Green Bay Packers scoring defense ranking in any given year from 2011 to 2025, 15.5. Exactly average, exactly mediocre, with a standard deviation. So those who know standard deviation, you basically where do most of the data points fall between, right? If it falls outside of the standard deviation, it's more of an outlier, right? Standard deviation of 6. That means most years it falls between 21 and 9, right? So you're talking about a defense from 2011 to 2025 that is average. Very, very, very average. And you had a Hall of Fame quarterback. That is one of the reasons why he never won a second Super Bowl. Average defense. Now I wondered, well, how about when Goody took over, right? Because maybe Ted Thompson, maybe it wasn't his thing. Maybe Goody's gotten better at defense since he took over. So I reran it again from 2018 to 2025, just Goody's years. Wouldn't you know, standard deviation of 12, an average of 12, so slightly better, and a standard deviation of 4. So you're mostly ending up 16 to 8. It's pretty good. I mean, when you're talking about it, but still above average. Now, I went back and I wondered, does it even matter? Do you think that top scoring defenses actually end up with Super Bowl appearances and Super Bowl titles? Maybe just good enough is just good enough, and maybe it's the offense that isn't the problem. So I went back and went through the numbers, and Nerdman found the most frequent top 10 scoring defense finishes from 2010 to 2005. Can I read you the teams, Kyle? Go right ahead, Brad.
All right, here are the teams. I want you to know if there's something in common with them. The Seattle Seahawks, the New England Patriots, the Denver Broncos, the Philadelphia Eagles, the Houston Texans, that's the outlier, and the Kansas City Chiefs. From 2010 to 2025, those are the teams with not only the most top 10 finishes, but the most consistent in the top 10 throughout those years. Every one of them, except for the Houston Texans, went to multiple Super Bowls, and they won at least one. So what that does tell me is top 10 defenses, critical. If not that, then at least having an elite defense. And look no further than this season, Kyle. New England Patriots scoring defense, 4th. Seattle Seahawks scoring defense, 1st. What this tells me is the Green Bay Packers are stuck in a mediocrity type of position when it comes to their defense. Now, they're never really bad, but they're never really elite. Every time they've been elite, it's been Super Bowl years, and they are stuck in this above average type situation, which ends up getting you to where they have gotten to. Wild card, early playoff exits. They're not like these other teams that are Super Bowl contenders and winners. So I ended this Nerd Man segment with
Nerd Man,
a Monte Carlo of how many simulations, Stro?
200,000 simulations!
200,000 simulations, because I wanted to know, please tell me, Monte Carlo, please tell me, what should I expect given the roster makeup, the coaching staff, the stability, future draft picks, the Packers GM? What is the likelihood, and where are they likely to fall over the next 10 years? And those, how many simulations, Stro?
200,000 simulations!
200,000 simulations told me the following. They will be a top, over the next 10 years, the Packers will be a top 15 defense 80% of the time. So kind of similar to recent years. They'll be a top 10 defense 45% of the time. Now we're talking, but here's where the number gets small. They'll be a top 5 defense only 9% of the time. So Monte Carlo over 200,000 simulations is telling me just 1 year, the Green Bay Packers will have a top 5 elite defense. To that I say, a lot more of the same, Kyle. Above average defense. That's what they've been for the last 15 years. The next 15 years, given the personnel currently, the D coordinators, the GMs, it's going to be a whole lot more of the same, because I always trust the 200,000 simulations that Monte Carlo gives me.
Yeah, I think, thank you, Brad, with that Nerd Man. Yeah, it was a tough pill to swallow there. I had my notes saying, well, just because it happened in the past with the Packers having the top scoring defense in the NFL when they won Super Bowls, it doesn't mean it has to happen in the future. But numbers would say that the Packers need to have that in order to get to a Super Bowl. And I think it falls on Goody to ensure that we have talent on this team for Jonathan Gannon to be able to maximize that talent.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He's got to be maximized. I don't see Goody becoming an amazing drafter of defense overnight. And there's holes in the defense now, D-line, cornerbacks. Who knows what happens with Quay Walker? So even if they do get that 1 year of an elite defense, I'm not sure it's happening in the next couple of years.
Maybe you should bring this up with the Goody Stan himself, Mark Tauscher, who joins us next here on Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
Dick Van Dyke, real quick on the Cha-Cha Slide ACL, says she was carried out by all 5 of us. 5 people?
That's a big girl. That's a big girl. Yeah, that's a big girl who did Cha-Cha.
Stop it, Kyle.
What you mean? 5 of them had to carry. That's a big girl. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Relatively quiet ride so far this afternoon. Westbound on 94, we've got backups from just about 25th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound is backing up from 84th Street all the way past 68th. One more backup on southbound 41 south of Hampton. Going to be a bit slow all the way down past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 1 above. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 11. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Another 2-man scramble tournament is underway. Play the Kapalua Plantation course for a shot at cash prizes. Must play by January 31st. Sign up now at WisconsinIndoorGolfCenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Harley-Davidson is an iconic Milwaukee brand, recognized worldwide for its innovation and strength. For many years, Harley-Davidson has partnered with Junior Achievement to prepare the future workforce of our community. Together, we're ensuring young people discover the career path that's right for them. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
Monica, we've got to hand it to you.
You and the design team have outdone yourselves.
Are you talking about the One collection?
Those rings say you are the one.
And they say it symbolically.
Describe the symbols.
Every ring in the One collection should be presented with a special ritual.
What would that ritual be?
You pick up her left hand and you place a kiss on her ring finger.
Rick, you never told me about that part.
Then you show her the tiny red diamond, flush mounted inside the ring, that will forever be in contact with her finger.
Why is it red?
Because that's when the giver says to the one, Wherever you go, my heart goes with you.
I give you this kiss. I give you my heart.
The red diamond is a secret symbol of that sacred moment.
The center diamond on the outside of the ring is for the whole world to see.
But the tiny red created diamond inside the ring is only for the two of them.
The One collection of engagement rings is available exclusively at Kessler's.
To find the Kessler's nearest you,
visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
My husband's an animal in bed.
Well, you know.
Not in the fun way. Think warthog. With a chainsaw.
Snoring and sleep apnea affect over 90 million people, and 1 out of 4 couples sleep in separate rooms. Advent can help. We've been Milwaukee's one-stop solution for nasal congestion, snoring, and sleep apnea for over 20 years. Unlike many other practices, we focus exclusively on these conditions, so you get comprehensive care under one roof. Advent's unique approach can help you breathe and sleep better, and many avoid a CPAP. Plus, most insurance is accepted for our effective 20-minute in-office treatments.
Hey, the only animal you want in your bed is your dog.
Advent. Sleep better. Sleep together. Learn how you can improve your life at adventknows.com.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Y'all know what time it is. It means it's time for Mark Tauscher to join us here on Kyle Brust and Nortman. You can hear Tausch weekdays 9 to noon on Willie and Tausch. Tauschi, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm good, buddy. How are you guys doing?
You know, Strof is happy because there's no Ben Brust. I'm not as happy with no Ben Brust. I'll let Brad speak for himself.
I feel like everybody's probably pretty happy there's no Ben Brust, right? Isn't that kind of...
Yeah, I mean, we feel a little bit like a man down. It's not the complete KBN team, but we're rolling around, Tausch.
We are rolling.
But Trophy gets more airtime then, right? And that makes him happy.
Yeah, he Jesse Nelson'd us today. He took the mic and he ran with it to start the show.
He killed it, though, Tausch.
He did.
Surprise,
well,
he brought it.
Jesse did teach him. I mean, he did learn under Jesse, so that doesn't surprise me.
I would say learn is probably strong, but...
No,
sure, you know what I meant. I mean, what do you?
Tutelage.
We can get into the great details, or we could just be general. And I think either way, you're good, right?
I'll let it slide.
Well, Tausch, a lot of people were upset yesterday because we were talking about the hire of Jonathan Gannon, and people were mad because the Packers didn't wait for Jimmy Leonard. Tausch, should the Packers have waited to interview Jimmy Leonard?
Yeah, I think so. I understand that there's timelines and. Different teams could have been interested in Gannon. Whether or not that's true, I don't think we'll ever find out. But you get the sense that Matt LaFleur was looking, and he had Gannon in, I think, on Thursday or Friday, had him another day. And as you kind of go through that process, if you're holding a guy, and I think we've learned this with both, NFL free agency and for sure in the NIL portal, you want somebody, you don't let them leave the building, because once they leave the building, the price goes up and the odds of you securing their services go pretty much out the window. So if you felt like, and obviously Matt LaFleur did, he's a head coach. Matt LaFleur wants somebody that is just, you run the defense, I'm going to do me on this side of it, and we're going to be successful in that route. And he felt good enough about Jonathan Gannon to make that decision without having an opportunity to interview Jimmy Leonard, even though I think a lot of us would have loved to have seen that, that opportunity come, but it is not. It's just, that's not the way the NFL calendar worked, and we'll see if that ends up being a good move or a bad move.
Tausch, I just did a segment, Nerd Man, that goes deep into the numbers, Tausch.
Nerd Man.
Basically, when the Packers went to the Super Bowl, 96, they were first in scoring defense. 97, fifth. In 2010, your Super Bowl, Tausch, first in scoring defense again. Since 2011 till today, the numbers say they've basically been above average. On average, 12th with a standard deviation of 4, so they're usually falling between 16th and 8th on scoring defense. Now, my question to you is, and it spit out that the top defenses throughout that time, Seahawks and Broncos and Eagles and Chiefs, teams that went to and won a Super Bowl, they need to have a top defense to go to and win a Super Bowl. What hope do you have for this defense in the near future to actually crack the top 5 and be a top defense? Because I think that's needed for them to actually make a real Super Bowl run.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't think they're going to be overly active free agency-wise, but you're going to get one of the best pass rushers back, and hopefully he's back for a season. And I'm guessing you're going to, do some things in the defensive backfield, whether it's draft picks or guys that get cut, or maybe there is a free agent out there that maybe Green Bay feels like can help. But you're going to have to get better on the inside of the defensive line, and maybe a new coordinator will help. One of the stats I saw over the weekend, it was actually last week before the championship games, and it goes kind of to your point, Brad, on special teams and defense. How many special teams and defensive touchdowns did we score or set up this season? Because the Seattle Seahawks had at least 8 scores. That's 56 points that their offense didn't score, that the Green Bay Packers didn't. And that is not even talking about the setup, short fields. Obviously, the muffed punt, that was a huge play in that game, set up Seattle. That's where I think I'm most concerned. We didn't get the turnovers that we were looking for, and special teams were it just was not good. The numbers are bad. I think it was a negative 185 point-wise as far as with the returns and all of the analytics that show that.
Oh, wow.
So until you get
negative.
Right now, you're it's not even this, it's just the facts, Kyle. You're looking at this.
No, I don't like this. No.
We have one side of our team can score, but there's 2 other sides to this that didn't this year. And when you're doing that, you're asking your offense to do things that are not going to be possible, and we need to figure out how we get that formula at least leveled out, not where it's such a big differential against some of these playoff teams that we're playing against.
Well, Josh, I think, and again, I said I don't like the fact that it's negative 185 that you said, but I think that's indicative of Goody. When you look at the fact that the special teams isn't where it needs to be at, you drafted all these guys in the first round on the defensive line, and they're not coming through. I think that's Goody. And when you look at the guys who are the general managers or presidents of player personnel or whatever it is, operations, in the Super Bowl, you have Elliott Wolf with the Patriots, you have John Schneider with the Seahawks, and also John Dorsey won a championship with the Chiefs. We got the guy that isn't achieving at a high level in Goody.
Well, I mean, if you look at last year, and again, it's everything's, turnovers are a little bit, there is a little bit of a luck component to it, but we were good enough last year defensively, and then you added a Micah Parsons. So I understand everybody this is going to be the narrative in Green Bay. Schneider has done a fantastic job in Seattle, and obviously Elliott Wolf, and, you went through the list, the Ron Wolf tree, and Brian Gutekunst is part of that tree. And there is no doubt, whether it's coaching or whether it's personnel, the special teams unit needs to be markedly better than what we've seen. And it just feels like if you don't make a change and you don't do anything different, what is going to change? And maybe it'll be personnel and you go with some more veterans. And I know Jason has been kind of harping on that. But the bottom line is you can't consistently ask to have to overcome the amount of numbers that you do in order to win football games, especially against really good teams. We need to get that formula figured out. And if that is better players or if it's a better scheme or it's whatever that is, I would hope that they're digging into that and trying to figure it out sooner rather than later.
Well, Tausch, that kind of leads me to the next question. With Matt LaFleur, this is the time of year where they're making staff changes. It looks like Bisaccia is going to come back as special teams coordinator, and Steno did not get his offensive coordinator job, so maybe he comes back as OC for the Green Bay Packers. It'll make Matt LaFleur have to fire him to move on to somebody else. Do you like the Matt LaFleur approach of kind of giving guys an extra year firing them or moving on a year too late? Because the rest of the league would probably move on maybe even a year earlier than Matt LaFleur. Do you like the continuity, or do you think Matt LaFleur should be more proactive in changing his staff?
That's a good question. And I think until we haven't even heard that Matt LaFleur got his contract extension yet. I mean, it's still nothing has been announced by the actual team. We've heard through, different reporters that it is, and I'm sure it is. But until that's the case, and I know he was, going through his process finding a new D coordinator, but I would think that there is going to be some changes on the staff because, yes, its continuity is very good. I think continuity is great when things are the way you want. But if you want to talk urgency and you want to talk about getting better and being accountable, I think it's a hard sell if you bring everybody back on that staff and just expect things to be a lot different when you've seen this is kind of what we are for the last couple of seasons. And how is that going to change? I think that's a really tough sell. And again, I don't know what the plans are by Matt LaFleur and his, going through his process with staff, but I do know all of these NFL head coaching jobs are getting snapped up, and they are hiring coordinators and O-line coaches and special teams coordinators at a really high clip. And if you want to make a move like that, I would think you'd want to be moving, not sitting around waiting a couple more weeks. And it's already been 2 weeks since the Matt LaFleur announcements happened.
We are joined by Mark Tauscher, host of Wilde and Tauscher. You can hear right here on ESPN Wisconsin, 9 to noon. Now, Tausch, what are your expectations in year one from Jonathan Gannon? Can he really elevate this defense from what they were?
Yeah, it has to be. There isn't, let's let him do all this stuff. And no, I mean, he has had a lot of success. Obviously, Philadelphia had a really good team and a good defense, and he won a championship with them. And then he's been a head coach. So I don't think there's going to be any, we have to give him time and give him this. No, you're bringing someone experienced in like that because you don't have time to kind of ease into it. And, our defense is struggling early, but they'll get better. I don't think if you want to win a division and host playoff games, we can't continue to do what we've done, which is, start slow. And, I know this year was a little bit different, but then things did get slow. We struggled in the middle part of the season. I just don't think there's going to be a lot of time for that. So, Jonathan Gannon's going to have to come in guns blazing, and, this defense will have to be rolling from the jump. I don't think there's going to be a ton of, let this thing develop under itself. I think when you have as many veterans coming back and a veteran coach leading them, I don't sense that there's going to be a ton of patience with. I know there won't be with our fan base, and I'm not sure how Matt LaFleur will feel about that.
Thanks, Coach Gannon. Mike McCarthy named Pittsburgh Steelers head coach. Aaron Rodgers is the quarterback last year in his opening press conference. Mike McCarthy said something to the effect of, who wouldn't want Aaron Rodgers back? He played great last year. Rodgers-McCarthy reunion. You in for it? And if you are, how far do they go next year?
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome. Obviously, in the business we're in, it's fantastic. I'm going to be curious where Aaron's head's at. He knows what it takes to go through a season. I think he was worn out by the end of this year, but I do think the Steelers were better than I thought. I thought he played, he fought through some stuff and was able to go out there. And if you're going to, try to develop a young quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, when he knows that's the case, even when he was irritated about the draft of Jordan Love, he was very helpful. Jordan has spoken nothing but great things. So if that is the plan where you let Aaron, build and help develop the young talent, I think that'll be a challenge he'd be super excited about, and he can still play. Is he as great as he once was? No, but you saw him, have some games. It is really hard to answer the bell week in and week out when you're 42, 43, however old he's going to be, and he's dealt with some injuries the last couple of years. His feet and his legs just aren't the same as they were, and that is always what catches up. His arm is still as good as it's ever been. But I think for what Pittsburgh is looking for, if they're trying to develop Will Howard or whoever they draft, I don't know if you're going to find a guy that has been more willing and done a good job in helping develop young players.
Well, they better draft somebody in the first round because Will Howard is not it. Tausch, have we seen the last of Giannis in the Bucks uniform?
Yeah, I think so. It feels like it. And I was at the game on Wednesday when he played the full game, and it just something felt off about the whole thing. And it makes me sad. But the last thing you want to do, Mike Tomlin, who we just talked about, Mike McCarthy, You want volunteers, not hostages. And I think if you're in a position where you can just kind of tell everything is kind of falling apart, which it feels like to me, don't know if that's accurate, but that's how it felt. It comes down to trying to get the biggest haul you can get to try and set the organization up to reset. Because even with Giannis being healthy this year, for some of the game, it hasn't looked very good. So I think you can try and grasp at last straws and make one more big move. I don't think we're going to be happy with that either. So at some point, both of these sides got to figure out what is in the best interest. Because right now, I don't think anybody's happy.
Anything for us, Tauscher?
I don't have. Stay warm. It's cold out. Other than that, no, I don't have anything else for you boys.
I appreciate you.
Thanks, Tausch.
Thanks for joining us here. That is, see you. That is Mark Tauscher, host of Willie and Tausch. You can hear that 9 to noon right here on ESPN Wisconsin. He was pretty pointed there with the last one.
He was.
I wasn't expecting
Tausch was good
no.
today. I usually you're the one evaluating. Tausch was good today.
Yeah, Stro, you nodding the head.
And yeah, that was pretty. At least for Tauscher's opinion. Pretty pointed.
Yeah, I think I want to get into that Giannis because, again, Mark Spears had not a report, but he made a comment today believing, just like Tausch did, that we may have seen the last of Giannis in a Bucks uniform. Do you believe that's true? We'll talk about that next. It's Kyle, Brust, and Nortman.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
Caleb Williams sucks.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
We've got eastbound 94 kind of backing up from 76th Street all the way to about Holly Road. Then again, right through the stadium interchange. Westbound 94, we've got delays from about 20th Street all the way to Holly Road. Also, it looks like we've got an incident on northbound 94 just north of the airport spur. The left shoulder is closed right now, so just watch out for that. It's kind of in a weird spot there. Southbound on 4394, you're backing up from Lincoln down to the KK River Crossing. Traffic is brought to you by Monster Jam, coming to Fiserv Forum this Saturday and Sunday. Buy tickets at Ticketmaster.com and watch Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, and other featured Monster Jam trucks. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Partly cloudy skies, a low of 1 above. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 11. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free, and 0% financing for 60 months, $1,000 off, plus a bonus vacation voucher. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build-your-own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Hey, this is Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Valentine's Day is almost here, and Racine Danish Kringles has you covered with their heart-shaped Kringle. You know my family loves Kringle from Racine Danish Kringles, and sometimes they share it with me. Racine Danish Kringles offers a heart-shaped Kringle with pink icing in raspberry, chocolate silk cherry, and pecan flavors to send to your loved one. Order at Kringle.com or call 800-4DANISH. Racine Danish Kringles, the official pastry of ESPN Wisconsin. It's not just a treat, it's a tradition.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind.
Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
$2.3 million. A recent Schwab survey of Americans says that it takes $2.3 million to be wealthy. Well, you may have had your financial plan set on a bigger or a more humble number. But if you're looking for added insights on how to get there or how to avoid some tax pitfalls on the way, Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen. Mark Tauscher here, and whether your situation is complex or simple, the Annex Wealth Management team can give you wealth expertise and guidance on reaching your goals. Annex Wealth Management. Know the difference.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle Brust and Nortman. No Ben Brust. But you have Bradley Nortman, Kyle Wallace here, Alex Strofe. You can watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube or ESPN Madison on YouTube. Make sure you give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. Also, make sure you download that ESPN Wisconsin app. Well, fellas, the trade deadline, I believe, is a week and a day away, correct, Strofe? It's next 2 weeks away. I'm sorry, 13 days. 15. It's February 9th?
It's a week and 2 days away. Next Thursday.
Next Thursday. I'm thinking it's Wednesday. That's what I thought it was.
No, it's 9 days away. It's February 5th.
It's next Thursday. I thought it was Wednesday. Not going to lie to you. But it is next week. And we don't know what's going to happen with Giannis. And I'm going to tell y'all this right now. I've been thinking this for a while that we got to get him out of this hellhole here in Milwaukee because that's exactly what it is here. And a lot of folks here in Wisconsin don't want to hear it because we love our Giannis Antetokounmpo, but there's a lot of tea leaves blowing in this cold wind that it might be showing us that Giannis may be done here. And Mark Spears from ESPN feels like we may have seen the last of Giannis in the Milwaukee Bucks uniform.
Should they shut him down for the season, guys?
I think he's played his last game. Bucks uniform.
Do you?
Yeah. Whether it's
what makes you say that?
I mean, because there's so much benefit for him not playing. One, you could make a trade for him now with Atlanta and get that piece, a generational piece, maybe the number 1 pick and the number 2 pick. You play them and they win, it just pushes back their potential pick further. So, to me, it benefits them to sit him and
see what's out there. See what happens come June.
Ain't nothing better than for a team like that to rebuild with
other teams that are going to offer something. You might be able to add to the.
I mean, the only thing they could see is on the lottery day what these top 2 picks could be, but I'm doing Atlanta.
Mark Spears said he is doing Atlanta. He said the Bucks at this point should tank because I know the Bucks will probably end up with their own draft pick. Brad, when you hear Mark Spears say that the Milwaukee Bucks should tank and shut down Giannis and look to move on from him, what is your initial reaction?
Well, sadness, first of all. Giannis is one of greatest player in franchise history. Mount Rushmore of Wisconsin sports. I'm not even sure that's that bold to say that. So it's sad. But the reality is, Giannis has become a victim of circumstances. I mean, he has done everything he could to be loyal, to stick with the organization. He delivered us the championship and provided a runway and an excitement of 6 years or so where they were in the mix and they won it once, where you're like, this is what fun NBA basketball, being the center of the NBA world, is like. And we got the championship. But the reality is, this team, even this coaching staff, this organization, from the ownership all the way down to his teammates, it looks like a 180-degree difference from when he was drafted and even when they were competing for championships, Kyle. His teammates, coach, ownership, it's all changed, and I don't think it's changed for the better. And Giannis is seeing that, and you're seeing it on the court because he's balling out. I mean, he's playing as well as anybody on the planet right now, and they're still not able to contend or be anything that looks like a championship contender. So Giannis has done everything he could for the city of Milwaukee. It's time that he goes and competes elsewhere for a championship because he knows it's not going to be here. The Bucks don't have the cap space. They don't have the draft capital to be able to pull a turnaround in a short enough time for him to still be in his prime. So It benefits Giannis to go somewhere else, even though he said all along he wants to be loyal. He wants to be here for a long period of time. But at some points, enough's enough, and this is his career. So for Giannis's sake, he should go somewhere else so that his greatness can be put on full display and not shoved on with a lid here in Milwaukee, playing with a bunch of guys who can't get it done and aren't even close to getting it done. And for the Bucks, you're not going to win a championship anytime soon with or without Giannis. There'll never be a greater time to try to claw back some of the horrible decisions you've made, getting rid of all your assets. The only thing you can do is try to get a top pick in a really, really, really talented draft class.
Yeah, so for me, when I think about it, it's just an absolute shame that Giannis has to live through this. The kid was basically raised here in Milwaukee. He's only known the city of Milwaukee since he got here at the tender age of 18. And it's a shame that it just feels like the Bucks are not doing enough to build a quality roster around him. And quality doesn't just come with if you can shoot a basketball. Quality comes with the type of man and type of person that you are. When you go from having a guy like Drew Holiday, who we know the contributions that he's made in multiple cities, for whether or not it was down in New Orleans, Philadelphia, here in Milwaukee, in Boston, and now in Portland, they cared about the community. Somebody like Chris Middleton, who wasn't out at the club kicking it, who was focused on getting his game right. A pro's pro like a Brook Lopez or a guy like a Pat Connaughton. Giannis went from having pros and professionals around him to going back to having guys that don't know how to win championships.
Kids.
No, but they don't know how to win. You got a whole bunch of guys that don't know how to win. Outside of Bobby Portis and Thanasis, you don't have anybody on this team that has a championship type pedigree. When I think back to the Bucks when they had DJ Wilson and when they had Rashad Vaughn, they had John Henson, they're all around my age. And you know what they were doing? They weren't in the gym focusing. They were out in the club. I ain't never seen Giannis out in the club. I ain't never seen him kicking it. I see him locked in and focused. And so I feel like this roster is shifted back to being a whole bunch of guys that are not professionals, that are not focusing on playing, winning basketball. And so my frustration comes with this organization is that, listen, when you went on and you decided to bring in Doc Rivers, which I felt like it was a weird snake move and how they moved on from Adrian Griffin like that, is you brought in a guy who has won a championship before, has gotten teams to being good, but has blown a lot of 3-1 leads. And so Bud was the better solution. And now hindsight 2020, we probably should have rolled this thing out with Bud. And now we're in a situation where Giannis just seems like the team isn't good around him. And what is he supposed to do? Giannis is giving it all. Giannis got hurt early in the last game, came back, kept playing, and ended up hurting his calf more to the fact that he may not play again for the rest of the season. And this is all our doing. We did not develop a good enough roster around him. So if Giannis demands a trade, then so be it. So be it. Because you have to reap what you sow. And what we sowed is a garbage organization, once again, being trash and not supporting Giannis the way that they should have.
Yeah, I mean, whether it's traded now before the trade deadline in 9 days, or whether it's the summer and you see how, wait till Giannis is healthy, you see how the lottery pans out. I just think trading him is the only way to go, because if Giannis came to me in a year and a half, right? So he can opt out of his contract, not summer of 26, but summer of 27. They ain't winning the championship over the next 2 years. That much is clear. I'm not going to do a Greek accent because I don't do it very well. But if you said to me, Brad, you're my advisor, what should I do? Should I stay with the Bucks or should I go somewhere else? I would say run somewhere else where you can actually go win a championship. You and I both know, Giannis, this organization, this roster, it's not tailor-made for you to be your best, for you to put you on a pedestal, and for you to get that second championship that you deserve to get. So if that's going to be inevitable, then the Bucks owe it to themselves and they owe it to the future of the organization to get anything they can from him. And he's the best player in the world, so they'll be able to get quite a bit.
This is what Giannis should do. Giannis should go to the Bucks today and literally say, you all have until Monday to put together a presentation on what next season looks like. I want you to do your pitch, because when guys are free agents, you do the sales pitch, what the team's going to look like. Giannis should say, you have until Monday to give me a sales pitch on what are you going to do with this first round pick. Not we're going to try to flip it. No. What are we going to do to build this roster? Because they continue to swing and miss. You need to tell me, what is this team going to look like? Who are you going to try to get? How are we going to free us up financially? How are we going to get this roster where we get workman's-like mentality around me again? Where are you going to give guys who are going to be able to have ball movement as Doc has asked for? He said the ball's got to keep moving. It's got to keep moving. Who are you going to put on this team and this roster? Who are you going to go get to try to build this team around me? They have until Monday. If they can't put together a way that they're going to continue to build this roster around Giannis, where it's not just him, because he can't do it by himself. He can't. Kevin Porter Jr. ain't going to help us win a championship. How much I love Bobby Portis ain't going to help us win a championship being a number 2 type guy. Miles Turner just isn't working out the way that it should. Kyle Kuzma has been an absolute flop. You don't have a Drew Holiday. You don't have a Chris Middleton. That's what it took to win a championship. Brook Lopez is the all-time leading scorer for the Brooklyn Nets. That is the caliber of guys that we had on this team playing a role player position to win a championship. You ain't got that now. So if they can't put together a plan for Giannis, then Giannis should say, y'all know what to do. So you have until Monday to figure it out, or then maybe we have bigger conversations come Thursday where I get the heck up out of here.
Yeah, I can't think of what they'd possibly put in front of them because the Bucks do have the higher of the draft pick between them and the where the Pelicans finish. So you might get a top 15, might get a top 10, might get a 5 pick, even if you do nothing. But even if you do that, this is a great draft upcoming. Some rookie won't be completely ready to push this team over. Even a great rookie won't be able to push this team into a championship conversation. So they're hamstrung by the Damian Lillard cap hit they're taking each of the next 5 years. Clearly way overpaid for Miles Turner. No other superstars on the team that are just dead weight in cap. You still have Giannis's big contract. You're not going to be able to do a lot in free agency. You don't have a lot of picks coming up. So I don't see any way they can become a championship contender. Botched move from the GMs. Bad decisions, and a team around Giannis that's honestly not the caliber of player that Giannis deserves to play with.
800-990-3776. That is the Carbless talking text line where less is more. Did the Milwaukee Bucks do enough to build a championship roster around Giannis for what some will say is Act 3 of Giannis with the Milwaukee Bucks? Again, the talking text line is 800-990-3776. You can also watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. That's 101. That's ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. You know what happened, Stro? I was reading the text line. Somebody said rage bait, and I went in autopilot mode. I've been cooking today when it comes to that. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, ESPN Madison on YouTube. But before we do, KBN Nation, tune into a new season of Behind the Bucks podcast on the Bucks Plus Audio Network presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Bucks vs. the World, narrated by comedian Charlie Barons, reveals the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open when the Bucks became the first NBA team to take on the best national team in the world, the Soviet Union. Before the Dream Team, this long-forgotten tournament in Milwaukee globalized the game of basketball and opened the doors to international stars coming to the NBA. Find Behind the Bucks on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get your podcasts. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher. We'll take your calls. We'll take your texts. We'll also chime in on YouTube. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN.
You said, I'm really down in the dumps. Nobody gave me a compliment on my new sweater. So, yeah, we're gassing you up, handsome. You go, King.
Look at that.
King on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Kyle Brust and Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies. They're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point.
with Chris Canty.
If I know that there's going to be bad weather rolling in, then I'm trying to take as many points as I can as quick as I can. If the weather was going to be what it was in the first half, in the second half, I get it. Plenty of opportunities to get back in this game. But that wasn't going to be the case. You had a blizzard coming in. So weather was a huge factor in the second half. If I know that's going to be the case, then take the damn field goal. Take the points. Mm-hmm. You got momentum, keep momentum. You got a backup quarterback. Play it a little more down the middle. The aggressive play that you needed to hit, you already got, which was the 50-yard completion with Marvin Mims in one-on-one coverage against Christian Gonzalez. It surprised everybody in the damn stadium, including Christian Gonzalez. I don't understand why Sean wasn't more conservative in kicking the field goal in that moment. It just didn't make any sense.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought in a million years we'd have to use life insurance. The unexpected happened. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. It's 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage, no medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage through Ethos.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ETHOS.com/game.
Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
From 30 for 30 Podcasts.
Did you say someone got shot?
Brian Pata, senior defensive lineman from Miami, gunned down.
The key to this case, it's Brian.
An hour before he died, he was on the phone arguing with somebody.
This might be a hit.
You want the truth. They just want a conviction.
Being placed under arrest.
We had a killer amongst us.
Murder at the U, coming soon.
Hey Tom, I went to New Hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
Dinner chaos? Not tonight. Not when you got Screamin' Sicilian Detroit-style pizza on the table. It's got a thick and airy crust, that crispy, caramelized edge, tons of toppings baked into perfection right in its own pan. Available in cheese. You got the pepperoni, the multi-meat. Supreme is fantastic, all delicious. Every bite brings a little peace and harmony to the table. It's Screamin' Sicilian Detroit-style. Dinner drama diffused. Find it in your local grocer's freezer section.
Students learn best when they can put their knowledge into action. JA's Stock Market Challenge teaches high school students how to analyze stocks and how current events impact value. Thanks to RSM, our partner that makes this program possible. It's just one of many ways JA brings learning to life. To learn more, visit wisconsin.ja.org.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle Brust and Nortman here on ESPN Wisconsin, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, 100.5 ESPN Madison, and 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. We're talking about Giannis and the fact that Mark Spears on ESPN said he believes we have seen the last of Giannis putting on a Bucks uniform. Do you believe that is true? 800-990-3776. Eric in Green Bay. Are you mad at Giannis?
Definitely not mad at Giannis at all here. Right off the bat, I have a 3-year-old helping me cook dinner, so if you hear some background noise, that's what's going on. But for me, I totally understand the situation with, I think the term is like a sunk cost fallacy, right, where we've invested right now into what turned out to be a bad roster, and then continuing to invest more assets, i.e. the lone first-round pick we have in some time, and it could be a good one. And to continue to dig deeper in an investment that's not working out seems like the wrong way to go here. When I look at what we did in the past, whether it was bringing in Drew Holiday or Dame Lillard, and even the offseason signing with Turner, we've taken some pretty massive swings. And I think when you swing that big, what you're going to see is either a home run, and that's what we did with a couple close.
Thank you so much, Eric.
Sunk cost fallacy, standard deviation. Love it.
We love it so much. We'll continue talking Giannis on the other side. Jim, Matt, and Molly coming up next on 100.5 ESPN Madison and the Damn Sports Show on ESPN Beaver Dam. We'll be back in 2 minutes.
We've got eastbound 94 kind of backing up from 76th Street all the way to about Holly Road. Then again, right through the stadium interchange. Westbound 94, we've got delays from about 20th Street all the way to Holly Road. Also, it looks like we've got an incident on northbound 94 just north of the airport spur. The left shoulder is closed right now, so just watch out for that. It's kind of in a weird spot there. Southbound on 4394, you're backing up from Lincoln down to the KK River Crossing. Traffic is brought to you by Monster Jam, coming to Fiserv Forum this Saturday and Sunday. Buy tickets at Ticketmaster.com and watch Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, and other featured Monster Jam trucks. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Partly cloudy skies, a low of 1 above. Then tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 11. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Rick, tell Sarah about the practical joke you came up with.
Okay, Sarah, this is really great. Are you ready?
Rick, I'm always ready. I walk around in a constant state of readiness.
A man buys a woman a pair of diamond stud earrings from Kessler's.
So far, this doesn't sound like much of a practical joke.
Be patient. He's not done yet.
And then on her birthday, or Valentine's Day, or Mother's Day, or Tuesday, he sneaks them out of her jewelry box and replaces them with a larger pair.
Well, as practical jokes go, this one sounds delightful, but it also sounds expensive.
No, he bought them at Kessler's, remember?
When you buy diamond stud earrings from Kessler's,
and we have them for $180 to $24,000 a pair,
you always get 100% of the price you paid when you trade up for a larger pair.
He just pays the difference?
He just pays the difference.
I love practical jokes. When do I get my first pair?
For the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. The 414 Hour on KBN is brought to you by Siding Unlimited. Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's leader in Pella window installation. Looking for new windows, siding, roof, and doors? Visit them at sidingunlimited.com.
It's the 414 Hour at 4 on KBN.
414.
Yeah.
414.
Yeah.
414.
Okay.
414.
You know what?
Brad, I tried to massage it in there a little bit.
No, you
tease it out a little bit.
You switched it up. That's okay. I like that. You switched it up. I wish you were at the wedding, because if you were coming to the wedding, I would play this just so you can.
Hey, what did I miss?
Oh, you weren't here. Brad can't go.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You can't come to the wedding?
No, he can't go.
We got like a.
When was this discovered?
Oh, months ago.
Like a decades in the making family reunion that's going to be occurring the same day. I can't miss.
Oh, hold on.
Decades is quite
decades long.
He said decades.
Decades plural.
Well, yeah, that's more than 10 years.
This has been getting planned since before you enrolled at UW.
Well, it was getting planned since before Kyle had a date. I will say that, but
that's not decades.
The last time this family reunion happened in this fashion was summer of '96.
Wow!
So this
is 30 years.
30 years.
Oh, y'all don't do? Do y'all do family? I do. My family does family reunions like every year.
Well,
nope.
No. The answer is no.
Is this your side or her side?
My side.
Oh,
my side.
Mama or dad?
Mama.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And we're all like, it's a great side of the family. Just you're not going to get it very often. So I do hate it, Kyle. When you said you landed on that date, I said no.
I hate it too. And you're going to be gone that Friday too, because I was going to welcome you to come to our welcome party, so you can at least hang out with some people. But
maybe we'll see.
What, you leave on that Friday?
Probably leave on that Friday, but maybe you can leave early Saturday morning.
If you don't, more than welcome. We're finalizing all the stuff, so I'm more than happy to come.
I can't believe this.
Why? You beside yourself?
I can't believe you didn't know this. We talked about this. Yeah.
I don't think I was here when this happened.
Oh, okay.
This seems like the world is shattering around me. I feel like I'd remember this.
Yeah, I know.
It won't be the same, Stro. It won't be the same.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah, well.
Decades long.
Decades in the making.
I really wanted Brad to be there because
I want to be there too.
I want to show you the other side. Like I
want to see the other side.
The 9 to 5 Kyle, all buttoned up, all professional, and then you got the after 5 Kyle that let loose a little bit, turn up a little bit.
I want to see turned up Kyle.
Yeah,
I've never seen turned up Kyle.
I get a little loose sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I'm the same guy.
But how loose are you going to be at the wedding? Right? Yeah, you have to remain a little bit have some decorum.
I'm gonna have decorum, but it's my wedding. And let me tell you something about me. Like I'm the type of person when I get around my boys. And then you start playing my music. And let me tell you, I like ratchet music. I like music that gets you hyped up. Like stuff that make me, when they talk about stuff I ain't never did before, but I'm rapping about it. I'm the type of dude that feel like that, and then my boys start doing it, so I get excited.
Well, so I got a question now, because if we roll back the clock to Ben's wedding, VP of Content Evan Cohen was invited, and CEO of the company, Craig Karmazin. Are those similar invitations being extended? Are you going to have to be rapping in a ratchet style in front of Craig Karmazin?
Let me tell you something. All right, first and foremost, it's my wedding. I do what the hell I want to do. Okay, I pay for all this. Well, we pay for all this.
That's true.
We for sure. Without her, it would
we being you and Craig.
No, we being me and baby girl and baby girl's family. Because that's tradition. We're traditional folks. But at the end of the day, I ain't butting up nothing from nobody. And if you listen to Sunday Karma, I push Craig. Do I not, Stro? Do I push his button sometimes? Not as much now with you and Greg being there. But before, I didn't back down. Stro was scared of Craig.
I don't understand what that had to do with me.
Are you scared of Craig?
No.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I'm afraid. I don't know what I should say. He's the CEO. He's our boss. He signs our checks.
I've never once said any of those
you
things.
100% say that. See, the problem is you a slave to the check. The check ain't a slave to you. The check is a slave to me. The check is a slave to me. I ain't worried about nothing.
What are you talking? What's the question?
Yeah, we did.
Right, what was your question again?
No, you asked the question.
Are you going to, one, are they going to be invited? Maybe you don't have to put that out there.
But
no.
Two,
is there anybody that you're going to be hesitant to be ratchet in front of?
No, not hesitant at all.
Baby girl's grandma?
I told baby girl, because we can't play certain music until after 9. Nana. I said, listen, Nana going to be shaking that tail feather too, okay? What you talking about? She gonna be doing that too. This is my wedding. I ain't holding back. We ain't starting off with the soft stuff.
Good for you, Kyle.
We coming straight out the gate. Get up, dance, shake some behind. Have a good time.
Now I'm really mad I'm missing.
Yeah, I got a whole long playlist. It's gonna be cracking. And then on top of that, like my boy who's in the wedding, his wife was like, Kyle, I can't wait to your wedding because I know it's gonna be good. The music gonna be cracking. Because they know how I get down. Ratchet music. I love it. I don't come off that way, but I love it.
Is the first song going to be ratchet?
Man, listen, if I had it my way, the first song would be Get It Sexy or Take Me Through There, which we no longer can play any licensed music. But it would be music to get people going.
Start.
Definitely strong start. But no. And also, listen, invite-wise, I'm not Ben Bruss. I'm not dangling the invite in front of. Listen, if either you're invited or you're not. What am I going to do here? This ain't no free event. This ain't no free party. This ain't open to the public. We not offering none of that. No. Only people I want there are going to be there.
Okay. Stand on business.
Yeah,
man of the
what
house.
it look like? Somebody said, is Josh invited? No, Josh is not invited. I like Josh, but we ain't that cool. Next question. I can keep going.
Is Craig invited?
Craig is invited, but I've known Craig since I was 18 years old.
Oh, wow.
Real talk.
So he wouldn't be surprised to see you shaking that booty.
No, Craig, listen. Craig.
Tail feather.
Yeah.
Tail feather.
Tail feather. Craig, me and Craig have had some good conversations. So on air. On some questionable conversations on air. So, yeah. So I ain't worried about that.
There you go.
Because some people get nervous. I'm like, listen, no, I'm not inviting everybody who I work with. The hell I look like.
Yeah. Good for you, Kyle.
Yeah. Strofe only getting an invite because I work with him every day.
Do you think he'll be an MVP at your wedding like he was for Ben?
I was the MVP at Ben's wedding.
No, Strofe will not be an MVP at my wedding. 100% won't.
Will I get votes?
No. You won't get votes.
You sure about that?
You don't have any rhythm, dude. Do you know? You must not. I kick it with folks who got rhythm, who have good time
and
party.
Do you think your friends and family that have rhythm, what do you think they're going to think of Strofe? You said you work with this man every day?
They're going to love me.
So
they're going to love me.
Here's the thing. Is that so I grew up I'm from Milwaukee, born and raised, but I grew up going to the suburbs, and a lot of dudes who was in my wedding, black dudes who went to the suburbs as well. So we used to goofy guys like Strofe. So we're used to that. So
goofy
we don't.
What guys, Kyle? It seemed like you were going to add another word in that.
I didn't say. And so with Strofe is like, oh, that's like, like my boy Ziggy. Like he reminds us of people. So we be like, oh, we embrace that type of stuff. We don't like he weird. So Strofe, you're going to be embraced on my wedding day.
So I'll be an MVP.
Not the MVP, no.
I'll be receiving votes.
On the All-Star team?
No. Strofe is just going to be a guy there.
Too deep?
I would be surprised if he gets noticed.
Have you been in a room with me before?
There's a lot of
I'll be surprised if you get noticed. I never thought.
So you won't notice when I don't attend then.
No, I would notice that, but you don't understand my family. I don't think you never met my mother before, or you might have met my mother is a hoot.
Met your mother.
She is a hoot.
Yeah, we're gonna be best friends.
She is. You saw leave Stro alone. That was only a snippet. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, my mama wild one, and my auntie's loud. My baby girl's family, listen, I kicked them folks out. Maybe you're going to be hanging with them. You're going to be hanging with the aunties and the cousins.
Yes.
I
they'll
can
all
see
love
Stro
me.
with the aunties.
They'll all love me.
It's going to be wild. Listen, I had a party.
You don't understand something about me, Kyle Wallace.
What don't I understand?
Women over the age of 50, they love me.
Okay. All right. We'll see. Because I'm telling you.
That is a pretty ironclad law of the universe. I feel like Stro, he's got away with the older folks, the older ladies.
Yeah, well, we shall see. He did get my mother to say leave Stro alone. So I'm sad Brad's gonna be missing it, but
Me too.
Stro is gonna have a great time there. I don't know how we got into that. Oh, here we go. Okay, yes.
All right, a couple pieces of news for you guys. Brian Dable has officially signed his contract to become the Titans' offensive coordinator per sources. That's according to Diana Rossini. He's been in their building all day.
So no contingency plan.
According to Rossini, that is not the case, but Schefter did report that earlier in the day, dependent on if he gets the Raiders head coaching job, so we will see on that. But another offensive coordinator opening in the NFL now, as Ian Rappaport reporting 5 minutes ago, that the Broncos have fired offensive coordinator Joe Lombardi.
Wow. He got fired twice in a row. Because wasn't he? Oh, no. He was with Detroit, and then Detroit fired him and hired old boy down in Chicago, who, for some reason, his name is escaping me, who the head coach of Chicago is.
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. I believe Ben Johnson replaced him, and it's interesting. Now, that is interesting. You know why that's interesting? Is that the Broncos had a pretty good offense this year. They played in the AFC Championship game in 2 days removed from losing in the AFC Championship game where they only scored 7 points. Granted, it was with a backup quarterback.
In the snow,
where maybe Sean Payton looked to his offensive coordinator and said, do you have a play here on 4th down to get this 4th and 1? And that's interesting. I would say that's very interesting that Sean Payton has already made that decision. Meanwhile, we still stuck with Adam Stenavich.
It is absolutely fascinating because I'm looking right now at offensive points per game rankings in the NFL last season. Wouldn't you know, the Green Bay Packers, 23 points per game. Denver Broncos, 23.6. The Denver Broncos had higher points per game, went further in the playoffs with a less experienced quarterback and less weapons, if I'm going to be quite honest, in my opinion. And Sean Payton fired his OC. And Sean Payton calls the plays, I'm pretty sure.
Sean Payton calls the plays. You see him with that play sheet.
Sean Payton has always been that kind of coach that's been impatient, shake things up, tough to play and coach for. But man, I respect the hard lines being made. And knowing that they're right there, but it's not good enough.
No, that's the problem. That's it right there. Not the problem, but that's the significant thing. Is Sean Payton said, this is not good enough. The guy here, I know what it takes to win a Super Bowl, and when I evaluate this, is he good, right? And I went through the list before as we're talking about the fact that Adam Stenavich is still the offensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, but now it's reported that the Broncos are firing Joe Lombardi, who 2 days after playing or coaching in an AFC Championship game for a team that won 14 games, a team that was the number 1 seed overall, and a coach in Sean Payton who calls the plays, he obviously looked at Lombardi and said, you are not doing enough to help me. You are not doing enough in game planning to elevate the offensive pieces around us. You are not doing enough to ensure that these receivers, these running backs, our quarterback and Bo Nix is put in a position to succeed. I call the plays. I organize this, but you are supposed to be so dang good that I can give you the call sheet and this team wouldn't miss a beat. I love the fact that Sean Payton evaluated his offensive coordinator and said, you are not, when I ask these questions, I can't say yes to all of them, so you got to go. This is a team that literally was probably a healthy quarterback away from playing in a Super Bowl, and this was not good enough. They won 14 games. This was not good enough. You saw that Broncos offense torch our defense, and that was not good enough. Meanwhile, we have a coach in Adam Stenavich who tells us before a playoff game that Matthew Golden, this isn't going to be his time to shine, and Matthew Golden did exactly that. He shined in the playoff game. Matt LaFleur, grow some, as they say here, Ryan from Aguanago. It's time for you to grow some. and make a big boy decision and move on from Stenavich.
And here's the thing. Not only did he make that decision, he didn't hesitate in the decision.
Not at all.
You are having, it's literally a couple days removed from that game.
He probably had the coaches interview, the player meetings, and now this.
Yep, 48 hours ago, they were just finishing up their game. So Matt LaFleur, instead, taking his time, trying to give Stenavich an opportunity to go elsewhere. I mean, that's what's hard. Like, part of me respects the humanity that Matt LaFleur has, right? Trying to do his guys a solid and trying to let them be able to leave on their own terms, not have it be ugly if it doesn't have to be. But darn it, this is the NFL. Like, guys get cut and fired every single day. It is a not-for-long league, NFL, and that is reminded to you daily, whether you're a player, coach, GM, or whoever. So even though there is some level of respect of humanity that I have for Matt LaFleur, nobody else is operating on that. This is a dog-eat-dog business. It's the highest level of all competition in your sport, and this is what happens if you hesitate or if you allow something like loyalty to get in the way of greatness.
Yeah, and I think loyalty is something that you definitely should have, because when you're loyal or you're trustworthy, you have morals. I think people trust themselves in that. But when I look at the Broncos situation where maybe they have a hot candidate in Davis Webb, who's a quarterbacks coach for them, maybe he's saying, I think I have a guy on the staff that can do a better job.
The Packers quarterbacks coach in Mannion is getting looks at OC in Philadelphia. Maybe be the same situation for Matt LaFleur.
And so that is my whole thing, is that we talked about having a wandering eye, right? You should always be looking for, how can I improve this team? If excellence is not what you're being measured on, when you're talking about an organization of the Green Bay Packers who have been on the cusp, if you ask me, of getting to a Super Bowl, if you are not trying to bring in guys who bring excellence, then you are not doing us you're doing an injustice to this organization. Whether you like Jonathan Gannon or not, guess what? Jonathan Gannon had his defense playing at a high level in Philadelphia, where he got to the place that you want to go to. If you aren't aiming to find guys that can get you to a Super Bowl, then you don't need to be the head coach. And that is the frustration that I have, that you have, and clearly Alex Stroh has when it comes to Matt LaFleur, is it just doesn't seem like he prioritizes greatness over loyalty. Stroh, what is your reaction to this news that you broke to us?
The reaction to the news that I broke to you. It goes back to complacency and no urgency, and loyalty being a negative quality of Matt LaFleur's in terms of being an NFL head coach. I think the Stenavich thing is the most puzzling part of this puzzle, if you will, to the offseason thus far.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks. Landed that plane. I'm just confused on what the holdup is on changes that I think everybody views as necessary. It's year 8. You haven't been able to get over the hump. You haven't won a playoff game in 2 years. You haven't won the division in what will be 5 years in 2026. Something's got to give, and you've got to make choices. Right now, all of the changes being made are not choices. Jeff Hafley chose to leave. The linebackers coach, the defensive backs coach chose to leave. Those are the only changes that you've made or will have to make. The only choice you've made is Jonathan Gannon as his replacement. But again, you were forced to make that decision. That wasn't your free will decision, and there should be more of those. So I'm just a little bit confused on the whole thing, and angry. I'm also angry.
I think rightfully so. I think you should feel validated today, Stroh, because he wanted to go in on this today to start the show, and I think he's even more validated with the decision that comes out from another organization that's chasing another ring.
Well, that's crazy, right? The Broncos are very close. The Packers are close, right? I mean, you're talking about a team that's made the playoffs several times, had seemingly an insurmountable lead in Chicago that would advance them to the divisional round. I'm not sure if they would have beaten Seattle, especially seeing how good Seattle is last couple of weeks.
We'll never know. I should be going to Santa Clara.
But we'll never know, and the Packers are close. That's inarguable. They're not necessarily in the inner circle of contenders, but they're knocking on the door. So you would think that some people might take that as, oh, what we're doing is right. We should just keep on going with it. Or some people might say, we need to look at every margin and figure out how we can get better. And the Packers are doing the former, not the latter.
Yeah, I'm just a firm believer. And it's tough because I'm a very loyal individual. Like I stand 10 toes down for anybody I work with in my proximity. If you with me, you with me. And I would stand 10 toes down with you. And I understand we all have some blind spots, but in the NFL, in a league that is a multi-million and billion-dollar business, you got to do what's best for an organization, and do it in this. And hopefully, Matt LaFleur sees this as a sign. Hopefully, I'm so real. Like, hopefully, he's been contemplating this and thinking about it. And according to reports from Rob Demoski, he said that, listen, they're not done evaluating things, and so I hope as he's evaluating, he looks at this as a sign to say, well, if Sean Payton can move on from a guy who's been an offensive coordinator before, move on from a team that, I mean, offensively they were good. They weren't great, but a good offensive team that played in the AFC Championship a couple days ago. Maybe I need to be able to come to that tough decision to move on from a guy and find somebody else who can be better. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless talking text line. We're reacting to the news that why it's related to the Packers is that Sean Payton fired his offensive coordinator just 2 days removed from an AFC Championship game on a team that won 14 games this year. Meanwhile, the Green Bay Packers are still seeming to hold on to Adam Stenavich, where it's not hard for fans to see that the offense needs additional help, needs some fresh ideas. 800-990-3776. Now, this conversation sounds very similar to one that was had years ago here on ESPN Milwaukee about Mike McCarthy. And guess what? Mike McCarthy's back, and there could be a reunion happening in Pittsburgh. We'll talk about that next. Keep it like you're listening to Kyle Bruston Nortman right here on ESPN Wisconsin.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
We were going to extend more invites, but I just jumped the gun for some reason at the meeting because I thought I was being like funny and personable, and I just don't know how to read the room. I was like, oh, this guy who doesn't know me, he's going to think it's hilarious that I'm with Josh, and I'm saying, hey, Josh, you didn't get the first round invite. Suck it.
In what world would that person find that funny, though?
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Highway 100 southbound, right about at Potter Road, Research Drive area. The right lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle, so watch out for that. Onto the freeway, southbound 41, backing up from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Eastbound 94 is backing up from 84th Street almost to Hawley, and then again coming out of the Stadium interchange. Westbound 94 slowing from just about 20th Street all the way past Hawley Road. And southbound 43, you got backups just south of North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high rise. Back on the brakes from just south of Beecher all the way to the KK River crossing. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy with a low of 1 above. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 11. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
All the antics.
The reason he's not running the ball real well this year is because his pants are way too high. You see him pull his pants up? Check it out.
All the action.
Should Matt LaFleur have waited to make this hire to at least talk to Jim Leonhard?
The fear was if you didn't hire him over the weekend, by the time that you talked to Leonhard, kind of sorted all those ducks out, that Gannon might be off the market.
The best of both worlds lives right here. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 9 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Rock a big win this January at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee. Don't miss your chance to win a share of $60,000 in prizes every week. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings on Thursdays. Plus, your January drawing entries all roll into an even bigger prize drawing in March. Rock on all month long. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
4 years. That's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to train for something big and become someone new.
You bet, and get 0% interest for 4 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, so you can invest in your home and in life's biggest moments. With exclusive features and customizations, Pella offers the highest quality products at a price you can afford.
Aim high when setting your New Year's resolution and imagine what you can do in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Your New Year routine just got a major refresh thanks to Carbless. Staying mindful, Carbless has 0 sugar and 0 carbs. Watching calories? We've got you covered. Still want something bold and delicious? Well, that's our specialty at Carbless. Whether you're out celebrating or settling into post-holiday goals, Carbless keeps things light, fun, and completely guilt-free. Start your 2026 with flavor and no compromise. Celebrate the new year with bold flavor, 0 guilt, and a drink that keeps things light. Happy New Year from Carbless. Let's make your new year feel flawless.
Kick off the new year with a smarter home and bigger savings with Exterior Pros and Baths. New windows to lock in the warmth, durable roofing, eye-catching siding, or a stunning bath makeover. Start the year off right and get $3,000 off your project. That's right, $3,000 back in your pocket during our New Year savings event. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. This deal won't last all winter. Exterior Pros and Baths. New year, new home, done right.
Brewers mini ticket plans for the 2026 season are available now with 6-game, 12-game, and build your own plan options. You can pick or build the best plan for your schedule, whether you're gearing up for tailgates under the sun, the thrill of the home runs, or the eruptions of walk-off wins. Brewers mini plans have you covered for the 2026 season with specially discounted ticket rates and more exclusive perks in each plan. Check out all the mini plan options available for 2026 now at brewers.com/ticket plans.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
On days like today, if you feel like your furnace is kicking and working too hard, and you say, ooh, it's a little bit cold in here, it's probably your windows. They're not doing a good enough job to keep the warm air in, and the cold air is seeping into your home. I have a perfect solution for you. That is Universal Windows Direct. And right now they have a January offer that you cannot resist. You can buy 4 windows, get 4 free. And then on top of that, you can get 0% interest financing for 60 months. You can spread your payments over 5 years without paying a single penny of interest. But it gets even better, KBN Nation. You'll get an additional $1,000 off your entire project. And because they love you at Universal Windows Direct, it's cold here. How about a vacation? Yep, you'll get a vacation voucher through their Destination Motivation with every purchase. That's right, you'll go from winter chills to a warm getaway, all on Universal Windows Direct. Why wait? Call for a free in-home estimate today. At 414-410-2000 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows. 800-990-3776. That is the Carbless Talking text line where less is more. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. And we're reacting to, as the big story that we've talked about is Adam Stenavich was in the running to get the Titans offensive coordinator position. It looks like that will be going to Brian Daboll, which means that Steno may be back with the Green Bay Packers. Brad, what is your reaction to that?
Yeah, my reaction is, first of all, I'm not surprised. I think Brian Daboll, objectively better OC when it comes to decision-making for the Titans. But for the Green Bay Packers, just wondering, where's the sense of urgency? There is a moment now where Matt LaFleur can put some rubber to the road, so to speak, when it comes to, I know there needs to be changes. I know I need to shake things up. I'm okay with not being the nice guy. I'm okay with not hurting feelings and making hard decisions. I think Matt LaFleur would greatly benefit from having a young mind, a quarterback-centric coach, maybe even Mannion, who's currently the quarterback's coach who's getting OC interviews, a different mind to shake things up. Matt LaFleur is a great offensive mind, but he needs somebody underneath him who can push him, who can throw out new ideas, because you're seeing a sense of urgency elsewhere. We just heard breaking news that Sean Payton fired his O coordinator after being the number 1 seed and going to the AFC Championship game and scoring more points per game than the Packers with a less experienced quarterback. Sean Payton calls the plays. He's an offensive mind, and he even said this isn't good enough. So for me, if Steno circles back to the Packers, and if he's back next year, you add that to Rich Bisaccia being back, probably most of the offensive staff being back. It's just the same old for the Packers, lacking a sense of urgency, prioritizing continuity and comfort more than competing for championships. And I don't know how often you can do that and just say to yourself, okay, I expect them to do more and be more than they've been the previous 3 seasons. I just don't see how that's possible.
Yeah, I'd be interested to know if he ends up just trying to demote him to being an offensive line coach. I mean, it seemed like he excelled.
Would that be enough for you?
Well, then that means
say
I don't want him. I don't care if he's on the staff or not. I just don't want him at being an offensive coordinator in that role, because I think in that role there's certain things that he needs to do. And I mean, without being in the locker room,
he wouldn't take a demotion after interviewing for OC Jones.
Okay, well,
he's not taking a demotion. Who would? Right?
I wouldn't.
He's been there for 7-8 years. I mean, I don't know. I guess you would, but what's his alternative? Where's he going to go?
I mean, he's running out of options.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that was...
It's a shot to the humility, but...
That's probably, if there is a defense on if he's back, right, LaFleur's defense is, well, he interviewed for a bunch of jobs. Obviously, he's a hot commodity. Obviously, he's well-respected in the league. I just think if you're going to, and the Packers already made this decision, if you're going to commit yourself to Matt LaFleur, that should have come with the requirement of, okay, you need new ideas around you because whatever it is now is not working. That's not to say, I don't have any proof that Adam Stenavich is bad. I don't have any proof that Adam Stenavich is a detriment to the Packers' success. It's more so the idea of fresh ideas, failed head coaches, etc. I want guys that can support and help elevate Matt LaFleur to a level he hasn't been yet, and it's clear Stenavich wasn't that. It's clear Bisaccia is not that, but it looks like he's probably going to be back. I just don't think running it back is a good idea for Green Bay after another disappointing 9-win year.
Well, and if I'm Ed Policy, and I've been negotiating these extensions for Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst, even if I'm confident and I really like Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst, which I think we all think they're good at a minimum, sometimes great, but mostly good, even if I'm comfortable with them leading the helm, I cannot imagine Ed Policy is satisfied with the last several years. I mean, you like the fact that you're in the mix, but
gotta be. He's extending everybody.
But you would think that extension comes almost like when you have like an annual review where it's like, hey, this is what you're doing great, but this is where you got to change. I can't imagine him just saying, yeah, keeping everything status quo is all good.
Yeah, time will tell. We should know by next week, I would hope. But 800-990-3776, Chris in Muskego. You think what about Matt LaFleur?
I don't think he's got the balls to fire anybody.
Well,
wait, did we have to dump that? Wait a minute, we don't. Oh, come on. Oh, what are we? Was it PG? G?
What?
We had to dump it.
Oh.
The guy, Chris from Muskego, said he didn't think Matt LaFleur had the cojones.
Yeah.
To be able to do it.
Well, outside of the delivery, it's hard to argue with him. He's kept Joe Barry on a year too long.
I'm good with the delivery.
Rich Bisaccia has been kept on a year too long, and we'll see about the rest of the offensive coordinators. He clearly doesn't want to be the bad guy, which, again, part of me respects that, but part of me wonders, you got to have some uncomfortable conversations and uncomfortable decisions in the NFL.
There are some uncomfortable conversations that have to take place, and not only here in Green Bay, but there's some uncomfortable conversations you would think. Now, Brad, if you had a job somewhere, right, and somebody tried to get you fired from your job, would you want to be friends with them and work with them again?
Probably not.
Well,
probably wouldn't be cool.
Mike McCarthy, the new head coach of the Pittsburgh, I say it right, Pittsburgh,
very good cop.
Pittsburgh Steelers, he a little different.
I mean, definitely. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't, but I think just like anything, knowing Aaron long enough, going through seasons, I think when players. To see Mel Blunt here. I mean, when guys are up at that stage of their career, they need to step away and decompress. I think that's very important. The game is so emotional, what these men commit to and what they put into it. I think that time away is important, and I have spoken to Aaron, and so that's really where we are there. But. I was able to sit back and watch the games. I watched most of the Pittsburgh games on TV, and I thought he was a great asset for the team.
It's good to hear Mike talk again, isn't it? It's good to hear him talk. I mean, shoot, we've got another chance to work with Aaron Rodgers. Why not? But Aaron Rodgers did kind of stab him in the back and run him out of town. But when he brought up the name of Aaron Rodgers, he talked like he was talking about an old friend.
I mean, at the end of the day, time heals all. And I think when it comes to the situation, Mike McCarthy could point the finger at Aaron Rodgers, or he could have said, you know what, I wasn't good enough. The offense got stale. My team wasn't winning. It was time to go. He had been here for many years before that, and he shouldn't be mad at Aaron for Aaron saying he wanted something different. Aaron is the quarterback. He was the star. And if the quarterback wants to move on from somebody, I think you should absolutely listen to what your quarterback is saying. He was the most talented individual. There are so many Mike McCarthys out there. There's very few Aaron Rodgers. And so Mike McCarthy, he's a professional. He understands how the game works. Whether or not Aaron Rodgers wanted him fired at that moment or not, he was probably going to lose his job at the end of the season anyways.
Yeah, and when you think about old relationships, you tend not to remember the drama and the issues. You tend to remember the good times, and there were a lot of good times with Mike McCarthy and Aaron Rodgers, particularly that Super Bowl run. So Mike's still a really good offensive mind, and I think Aaron Rodgers can still sling it. I'm hoping for a reunion.
Me too. How cool would that be?
That would be so cool. I love watching old movies. I could go and rewatch Star Wars and Lord of the Rings over and over. I want to rewatch this movie. I want to rewatch this movie of McCarthy and Rodgers.
Watching those two guys maybe walk out. Not in the sunlight because they're not winning the championship. What? I don't know why they hired McCarthy, to be honest.
Probably stability and maybe groom somebody for
stability.
It's a 5-year contract. It's a long time.
Stability. The organization has had 3 coaches in the last 50 years. What do you mean stability?
Stability.
They're the what's called. They are the epitome.
He's a stable head coach. He wins.
Yeah.
He's won everywhere he's been.
I know, but I mean, is that really a guy that you're hiring thinking you're going to win a championship with?
I think they wanted to keep it going in the right direction and groom somebody else.
Yes, 5 years to groom somebody is a long time. He is a great offensive mind. The Cowboys had good offenses.
I did think they were going to go young to try to do another multi-decade coach. I was surprised they went with him, but he's not a bad coach. They'll still probably go above 500.
Yeah, one thing for sure to look into is they got to draft a quarterback.
Yes, they
can't
mess that one up.
If anything, they should beg Aaron Rodgers to come back and draft a quarterback in the first round. And hope that whoever they draft can be developed by Aaron Rodgers quickly.
Yeah, I think that's a good strategy. Works for Jordan Love.
Yeah, it did. Strofe, you grew up with the McCarthy-Rodgers reunion, or not reunion, love affair. How do you feel about them maybe putting the band back together? I mean, that was a love affair. I mean, you wanted Mike McCarthy to be your stepdaddy. What? Show me the lie. Show me the lie. Did you not want Mike McCarthy to be your stepdaddy? Strofe, what are you doing? You got to answer. It's a radio show. You
Look how red Brad is.
That is so funny.
But it's the truth. I wouldn't make that up. I don't just make things up.
I didn't. No. So what happened was my parents got divorced, and Mike McCarthy was freshly the head coach of the Packers. My mother had a friend of a friend who knew Mike, and my mom wanted her to set them up.
Oh.
And ultimately that did not happen. And Mike McCarthy was never my stepdaddy.
What could have been, though?
I know, right?
What could have been?
Mama sounds too hot to try.
Oh, what that means.
I love your mom. But, Strofe, what is your opinion on all this?
I'm uncomfortable, and I'd like to do a commercial break.
What do you mean, Strofe? Why are you uncomfortable? You brought it up. On Sunday Carmen.
Did I bring it up?
On Sunday Carmen.
Well, I was going to say, how else would Kyle know that?
Exactly. I don't be knowing all the history of
There's
Mama
part
Strofe.
of you that probably still wonders what if.
And to be honest, Mike McCarthy missed out on a wonderful woman.
What position group, nepotism is huge in the NFL. What position group would you be coaching underneath stepdad?
Photographers.
Photographers.
Strofe, you okay, right?
No.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman. Willis Strofe coming up next. But before we go to Willis Strofe, Brad, tell us about our friends at QC Kinetics.
Oh, QC Kinetics. That name is synonymous with being the nation's leader in regenerative medicine because you got pain. Pain in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, your back. That cold outside is making it even more noticeable. I'm here to tell you, it's 2026, time for a new year and a new you, and you do not have to be living with that chronic joint pain. QC Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine. What does that mean? It means they use cellular treatments on the cellular level to use what your body already has in it to help lower inflammation, heal that pain, and give you long-term success. No surgery, no drugs, no downtime, just your body's natural healing power to reduce inflammation and get you feeling your best again. So 40,000 people have already said yes and are living their best life. You could be 40,001. The free consultation is on the other side of this phone call to QC Kinetics, where you will have a personal plan to a pain-free life. Free, no-obligation consultation is waiting for you. Give them a call. 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
Wheel of Strofe is next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
We need the final end here.
Yes, we do, Jason.
Oh, okay. Screw you, Ben Brust.
On ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Southbound 43 backing up now from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way down through the Marquette interchange and over the high-rise. Back on the brakes from Lincoln down towards the KK River crossing. Westbound 94 still heavy from 20th Street past the Stadium interchange. Eastbound's backed up from about 84th Street to just past 68th. Southbound 41 heavy from just south of Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. And then on westbound 894, we got backups out of the Mitchell interchange. Those stretch all the way over to about 60th Street. Eastbound's backed up out of the Hale to Forest Home. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. John Neal and his team know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, a low of 1 above. Tomorrow, mostly sunny with a high of 11. Weather is brought to you by The Pickler, Menominee Falls. Cold outside? Get moving indoors with free Learn to Play Pickleball every Monday and Saturday. Learn more at thepickler.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5.
This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, letting you know that Siding Unlimited installs Pella windows and doors. That's right, Siding Unlimited installs windows, and we do it really well, earning the prestigious Pella Platinum Premier National Certified Contractor of the Year award 5 times. New windows, our expert team will deliver on a smooth, hassle-free installation, making you feel proud of calling Siding Unlimited for your window project. What's the next step? Call 262-567-4513 or go to sidingunlimited.com.
You've already put in the work. Now there's a way to make it count towards your degree. At Lakeland University, your work and life experience can earn you college credit, helping you finish faster, saving time and money. With flexible evening and online classes, plus multiple start dates, Lakeland fits your life. Study 100% online at one of our 6 locations across Wisconsin or on our residential campus in Sheboygan County. Customize your degree to fit your life, your goals, your future, without missing the moments that matter, at work or at home. Your experience matters here. Lakeland University. Experience it your way.
The Milwaukee Weight Loss Program has been able to change the lives of thousands of people with this incredible metabolic reset program. We know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day with no exercising, no prepackaged meals, no counting points or calories, no drugs, no surgery, and no injections with the risk of serious side effects. There's no better time than now to give yourself the gift of a new you in this new year. Schedule your free consultation now by visiting MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Homer here. I'm starting 2026 off right with Milwaukee Weight Loss. Their team is full of great people who listen to me and my goals through the consultation process. Their program is the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day, and many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or 2. Call for your free weight loss consultation, 262-235-3980, 262-235-3980, or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com, MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Save more on the brands pros trust at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances and choose from our wide lineup of top brands. Plus, save $100 on a Little Giant 22-foot multi-position ladder, now just $189. Built for strength, flexibility, and job site versatility. Pros, these savings will only be here for a limited time. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 1/30 while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Progressive knows life takes you in many directions.
Bear right at exit 32, then begin to wonder why you never bought a fish tank. In 1.3 miles, you'll realize you've been mispronouncing epitome your whole life. At the roundabout, you will remember you said something at dinner you wish you hadn't, and will think about it for decades. You have arrived at your destination, but it turns out there really is no destination, and life just keeps going.
Wherever life takes you, protect your home and auto with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations. This is Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle Brust and Nortman here on ESPN Milwaukee, 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. You can always watch and stream us live on YouTube by going to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you give us a like, a share, and a subscribe. But it's Stro's favorite time of the day because he gets to talk and lead the segment. It's time for Wheel of Stro.
It's time for the
Wheel of Stro.
Okay, another another day, another buckaroonie on the wheel of Stro. I'm actually not going to break the wheel out today.
Dude, that's right. Do you want me to ask Greg about this wheel? Getting it expensed. I got to do an expense anyways for our travel to the Mad.
You can talk to whoever you want. I'm not breaking the wheel out today, not because of the fundamental issues with the wheel. It's more so with the fundamental issues of time management that you've had today.
We've been delayed.
And we've got to get to John Anderson in just a couple of minutes. So only one topic
This
today.
is your fault.
Master at accountability.
No.
there.
I asked my producer, I said, should we do this here? Do they? No. Let's do that here, and then we'll get to the wheel of Stro. I said, all right.
That's not what I said. I said we could skip the wheel of Stro.
It was too late at that time.
Oh, now he's making excuses.
No, it was too late.
I can't wait till Ben gets back.
I see why Ben hates you.
Ben doesn't hate me. Ben loves me.
Brad?
Love might be strong.
Extremely strong.
Bill Belichick will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer, did not get 40 of the 50 votes he needed to get into the Pro Football Hall of Fame. ESPN reporting within the last hour. Bill Polian, apparently a key figure, bringing up Spygate and Deflategate as reasons against Belichick to be a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, despite winning 6 Super Bowls as a head coach.
Bill Polian went up against
GM
quite
for
a bit.
the Colts all those years.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Well, I mean, he cheated, but listen, don't be sad for Bill Belichick. He'll get in eventually, and guess what? While these old men who decided not to get him in there got to go home to their old ass wives, he gets to go home to his young 24-year-old girlfriend. So, Bill, you're still.
Is she still 24?
25.
I feel like she's been 24
for a while.
Yeah, totally.
What's her name, Stro?
Jordan Hudson. Jordan.
Is it actually Jordan or is it Jordan?
I don't know. It's called. It's
it's a shame because 8-time Super Bowl winner, easily the best coach of all time. Were there areas where he pushed the boundaries? Yes. Spygate, Deflategate. Somehow it seemed like radio communication would always go down in important moments at Foxborough.
Were you part of that?
Yeah, there was. I remember some guys talking about that.
What's the stories?
Just that, there would be stretches where maybe you're probably running on offense or something like that, where the communication goes down. You got to have guys running in play calls and things like that. It happened significantly more frequently at Foxborough than it did at other stadiums.
I mean, they cheated. I mean, not even a Deflategate. The fact that they literally had Spygate where they were recording other people's practices, that's cheating. That's cheating. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around that, and it should be a bigger deal that they cheated.
Do you think that the punishment fits the crime then, of him having basically probably wait a year?
Oh, he has to wait a year, but guess what? He still got the rings on his fingers. And look at the Patriots back in the Super Bowl now. Where did Robert Kraft? Let me stop.
It's also his first year of eligibility, but we do not know whether or not Robert Kraft will get into that.
I will say this. He's going to get in no matter what. It sounds like the voters felt like they needed to punish him for basically some of these slaps on the wrist. To me, it comes off as petty. Like, he's going to get in either way. This is one last push of power from the voters to sort of send a message to him. It comes off as petty, and it comes off as a little bit ridiculous to me. Because even with those allegations, and some of them were true, he still won more Super Bowls than anyone else in NFL history. And even if you say, okay, of the 6, 3 of them, there was proof of cheating or something, he still won 3 more Super Bowls. So he's great, and he should be in first ballot.
He's great. He should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Someone we always love and will always love is John Anderson. He joins us next. Oh, before we go to break, though, shout out to my producer. Listen, KBN Nation, if you're looking to upgrade your windows, do it now. I don't know why y'all waiting. I'm telling you, if you're looking at your window saying, dang, I hate them, I can't stand it, I have the perfect solution for you. And it is working with Universal Windows Direct. And they have great deals, but it's beyond the deals. It's that the windows are actually great. So peep this. Right now, you can buy 4 windows and get 4 free. You'll get 60 months of interest-free payments. You'll get $1,000 off your next project, and they will give you a free vacation voucher. What are you waiting for? You don't even have to buy the windows when you call them. You just need to listen to them. And I promise you, after you're done listening to them, you're going through the brochure, you'll say, I got to get these UWD windows. So call them today at 414-410-2000 or visit them at universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free in-home estimate. And I promise you, you'll be saying like me, I love my windows. John Anderson, next.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
Do you think? Nope.
on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Hey, it's Kyle Wallace. You know that saying, new year, new you. Well, how about new year, new home upgrade? Universal Windows Direct has a January offer that's all about starting strong and saving big. Right now, when you buy 4 windows, you get 4 free, and that's one of the biggest offers they've ever done, and with 0% interest financing for 60 months. You'll also get $1,000 off your entire project, plus a vacation voucher with every purchase. Restrictions apply. Call 414-410-2000, and like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is teeing off the new year with another can't-miss tournament and $1,000 in cash prizes up for grabs. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a 2-man scramble at the legendary Kapalua Plantation Course, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and you must get your round in by January 31st. Your chance to take on Kapalua Plantation Course starts today.
At Saturn Lounge, we know. If your marketing actually worked, you would know. Your website would perform. Your storytelling would inspire. Your campaigns would deliver leads that become sales. You wouldn't need a report to tell you. Visit SaturnLounge.com today. When marketing works, it shows.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 10 and 35%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on the way you purchase insurance and by state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart, located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. National Liquor Mart is packed with deals for all your beverage needs, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily.
While the Bucks fell to the Nuggets 102-100 at Pfizer Forum on Friday night, that wasn't the headline, as it was announced after the game that Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to miss 4 to 6 weeks with a right calf injury. Here is the two-time MVP after the game.
This is from my experience being around the NBA. After that, I'm going to work my butt off to come back. That will probably be end of February, beginning of March. Hopefully the team plays that we can at least make a play or make the playoffs.
With Sunday night's game against the Mavericks getting postponed due to weather, the Bucks will make the trip out to Philadelphia to take on the 76ers on Tuesday night.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drug driving, and let's achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Departments of Health Services, Transportation, and Justice.
Hey Tom, I want a new hoop for the kids. Any ideas?
Yeah, I got mine from Precision Sports over 10 years ago. They helped me choose the right hoop, installed it, and even painted my court lines.
Nice. How do I reach them?
Easy. PrecisionSportsOnline.com for a free quote.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
It is Kyle Brust and Nortman here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Wallace. He's Brad Nortman. No Ben Brust. Benny will be back on Thursday. He won't be in studio, though.
Oh, that's right. He's be in Madison.
Yeah. Ben Brust is all over the world, man. All over the world. John Anderson, we're working to get him, correct, Stro, to try to get John Anderson on the phone. But overall, the main thing from today, what I learned is that maybe my guy Matt LaFleur, who I support 100%, and still being the coach of the Green Bay Packers. Homer, why the odd face?
What do you have to do for you not to support him? Like, this is his guy. You don't like him, right? You don't like the special teams guy who's here? What has LaFleur actually done that you like?
Well, I mean, I'm a guy who likes having an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. In 6 or 7 years that he's been the coach, he's done that. I like a guy who was able to not only help Aaron Rodgers get back on that horse of being an MVP. He may not be the only reason, but he assisted with that. Look what he was able to do with Jordan Love. And so look what he was able to do with Malik Willis. And obviously there's flaws that most coaches have flaws. I just watched Sean Payton not kick a dang field goal when he should have with a backup quarterback, but nobody's perfect. And at the end of the day, Homer, I do believe that Matt LaFleur is having this team trend in the right direction. After the Denver game, you tell me, did you think, or before the Denver game, in the first half of that Denver game, did you think this Packers team had a shot?
No, I never did the whole year.
No, you did after they beat the Lions.
No, I didn't.
After they beat the Lions, you thought
the first two games, I said the division is over. But in terms of, and I changed after a few weeks because I was wrong. And they're not that good a team. Their coach is good, but not real good. Their GM is good, but not real good.
So you don't believe they could have competed with the Final Four teams?
Yes, they can't. But you got to win certain games.
Yeah.
Here's all that I have now: win the damn division. You don't win the damn division, you got no chance of doing anything of significance.
I think it's
with him and his coach and GM. And the question is, can they win the damn division?
And the division's getting harder, right? I think Lions are going to come back with a vengeance next year.
All over 500.
Yeah, which is crazy.
And Lions finished in last place.
And so they're going to have a fourth-place record. And I think they're still really good. I think the division's going to be hard to win. But you're right, they have to do it.
John Anderson, welcome in to Kyle, Bruss, and Nortman. John, we're going to get straight to it. Jonathan Gannon, good hire or bad hire?
I think his track record's pretty good. I'll take it. We'll see where it goes, but it's hard to decide when the man hasn't moved any of the players around on the field. But on spec, on what we know of him, I think that's a decent hire. Not everybody is meant to be in the front of the room and be the motivator and be the big, face of a franchise. Some guys are better in a dark room with a clicker, figuring out load schemes for your 3-4 defense. And I think maybe that's more his speed.
Are you upset about the Jim Leonard piece or no? The Packers didn't even interview Jim Leonard. A lot of folks are mad here in Wisconsin.
I guess they had that one weekend where they could have gotten to him. But I think Matt's had a chance. So Matt's talked to him before, so I don't know that it's a complete unknown. Like they didn't let it just pass by. And every time Jim Leonard comes up, same with if he ends up someday being the Badger head coach, I can't decide if that's everybody's wish, or it's really going to be a good hire, right? Like his track record's fine. But I don't know if we just feel like, oh boy, that would be ideal. Because that's what we thought with Bart Starr. And that's what we thought with Forrest Gregg and some other people. And it doesn't always work out that way. So I don't know. But the timing of how things go, sometimes you gotta act. And so I think they got a guy they wanted as opposed to maybe missing out on both of them.
John, obviously, Hafley leaves, so Gannon in. That's one part of the ball. Looks like Rich Bisaccia, special teams coordinator, will likely be around. We have nothing to confirm that, but it's trending that way. And Adam Stenavich, the O coordinator, interviewed elsewhere, but he didn't get those jobs, so he might be coming back to Green Bay. If Matt LaFleur doesn't make any additional moves, John Anderson's reaction to that would be what?
Listen, I think it's a head coaching change, right? Like right now, I'm not wild that he's still the guy there. So you can move all the underling parts, but if you're not going to move the queen, I'm not sure I care about the pawns that much.
Beautiful analogy, if I might say. And John, another update. Pittsburgh hired Mike McCarthy to be their head coach. And in his opening press conference, Aaron Rodgers came up and he said, well, who wouldn't want a quarterback like that? He was a great asset to the team last year. Is that a movie you want to see again, John? Rodgers, McCarthy, rolling it back for a year together?
I'm fine because it's not in my local theaters.
Wow. I mean, they'll be all over the news.
Man. You're on fire.
But I feel like that might be, and I feel like right now that might be the dollar cinema too. I don't even know if I have to go the full rate.
Oh, wow.
For that bad boy. I just know that when they hired McCarthy, and I'm not mad at them, that's good, but they did not hire a guy that's going to be there 20 years. The idea that, every one of those guys pays 20, 15, 18, that tenure is not going to be 2 decades long.
John, before we let you go really quickly, Giannis Antetokounmpo, will he be a Milwaukee Buck next year?
I don't know that he's going to be one after February 5th or whatever the trade deadline is. I think I fear the worst that we have seen him play his last game as a as a Milwaukee Buck.
That is John Anderson.
Thanks, John.
You will hear him coming up next on the Homer Hour from 5 until 6 right here on ESPN Milwaukee. Shout out to UKBN Nation. Shout out to Brad Nortman. Shout out to Alex Stro. Another beautiful day, but we'll be back and better tomorrow.
That never ends.
Northbound on 43, we're seeing delays coming out of the Kilbourne area all the way up past North Avenue.